Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the internet in the Philippines fails at an inopportune time. Just when we were getting ready to sing a song to GE Northcote's. Uh-oh. What happened to that title? What happened to my title? Okay, I know what happened to the title. Okay, I'm gonna page. I had copied and cut something to add to the title, and that's the only thing I see on the page. So just give me a moment. Warren H is back. All right, so I need a minute. I hope GE Northcote can come back, because I certainly want to do something special for him. Hey, hello, son. So my son and I just discussed making arrangements to get the computer to the Philippines. And let me go to my channel. I want to get the full title here for GE Northcote. Now, GE Northcote is a gentleman. He donated, I thought it was 25 lira. I don't know the different money signs. So, yeah, okay. So I do have it in the title here. I do have it. So let's get this going here. Shut the sound off. Oh boy, so we got the sound gone. The Northcote is in the house. Well, we want to say a special thank you to you, sir, because I got to tell you, I don't know that anybody's ever been that generous before, considering, well, I think you're a new commenter. Not new, I've seen comments from you before, but relatively new, and thank you. So first we're going to do a regular thank you, and then we're going to have Mr. Obama sing thank you, and Warren, I remember GE Northcote. I remember when the British pound was 2.2 American dollars when I was a child. That's what I remember. I believe it was 2.2 American dollars back in the early 1970s. So I'm going to sing The Northcote is in the house. Salamat. We're going to sing. Warren was going to sing. Warren was even going to sing. He was going to put his hat on backwards, because today Warren is feeling tough. So he was going to put the hat on backwards and sing with a New York gangster accent. But we discovered, oh my God, my hair. Look at my hair. Oh God. I need a haircut. We discovered that working, I think when I put Skype on, it was destroying what small amount of power we get from the internet, which is very disturbing, considering it's the year 2020, and you can't get decent internet. Okay, so let's go. Not too many years ago, says GE Northcote, the British pound was the world's currency. Then came Uncle Sam with the petrodollars back in the 70s and destroyed all. When they look what they did to that great guy. All of the great Arab leaders that wanted to start oil as the petrodollar, they destroyed all those countries. Yes. Okay. So, GE. All right. So let's get clasp the hands. So GE Northcote, I'm not real sure who you are, and I don't want to know who you are, but I will tell you that that 50 pounds that you sent me is going towards the computer. Now, Warren pretty much insisted that he pays for the whole thing. So what the one that we picked out was I'll show you, this one here, the ASUS ZenBook 15 Ultra Slim 15-inch 4K Nano Edge bezel, Intel i7 10510U, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. And these are the specifications. And it comes with a carry case, and it's military grade frame. The structure is military grade, which is probably the same like this one, made out of, it's got an aluminum frame in here. So we will sing first. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, GE Northcote, Salamat. Then Warren, you should know, is singing along. And this computer has a built-in IR camera for facial recognition. Sign in with Windows Hello. Okay, so this is the 84,000 peso one. Now, Warren said I might be able to get this a little bit less expensive from America through this company called Newegg. However, let me explain this to you for those people that are going to buy a computer in the Philippines. Okay, you see this up here where it says Philippines? Home, Philippines, computer systems, laptops and notebooks. Laptops, notebooks, ASUS. Okay, if it doesn't say Philippines, it won't ship to the Philippines. So if I were to somehow go back over here to the next window, it will ask me to sign in to Newegg. Now, but when you go here on the page, you have to put down where you live. So if you don't put down Philippines, it won't ship. You won't find what computers are available in the Philippines. So I put Philippines down in this section of the Newegg website. And when I put that in the go-to search box, it says Home Philippines. Now, what happens is it will show you all of the computers that are available in the Philippines. Now, these computers are available from Newegg. However, you have to find one of these computers that are available in the Philippines through that website. Here's what happens if you don't buy it through a certified vendor that can sell in the Philippines. And Warren and I went through this, so I'm going to give you a little bit of information. Warren bought a computer in Australia. It was Acer, I believe, with all the doodads, touch screen, facial recognition, all that stuff. And he spent $2,500 for that computer, American, US, $3,000 Australian or more, maybe. When he went to send it to the Philippines from Australia, well, the first courier said it would take 6 months to go by ground. And they didn't want to ship a new computer because it was against the rules. So he inquired about an air company. Well, the air freight for the company was $435. But in order to get the computer into the Philippines and me get it, it had to be shipped either to Manila or Cebu, and I had to give them the Bluetooth code. And that had to be supplied from the manufacturer, but they would not ship it to Bohol. I would have had to go pick it up in Cebu or Manila, and it wasn't determined. So besides the $435, I would have to go to Cebu probably with the original bill of lading documentation, basically receipt, and give it to the people in Cebu with the original receipt that would have the serial number of the unit and the Bluetooth code. That's what they wanted. So I would have to spend another 10,000 pesos to go to Cebu and maybe stay there a day. I don't, well, I mean, it's only, it's 500 pesos for a trip to Cebu if you're outside. If it's raining, you go inside, so it's 1,000 pesos. So it's 2,000 pesos for travel, and figure another 2,000 or 3,000 pesos spending money. That's 5,000 pesos. If I have to stay there 2 days, you have to add another 1,500 pesos for a room. So you're talking about 8,000 pesos roughly to go pick up the computer. There's no guarantee that you're going to get the computer even when you go to Cebu, because after 2 days of research and maybe 8 or 9 different phone numbers that I've done this before, a live stream, nobody would guarantee me once the computer got into Cebu and I gave them the number, nobody would guarantee me that I was going to get the computer. Nobody. There was somebody from September where the computer arrived in September, and in December they still hadn't received the computer. So there was no guarantee that if Warren sent the computer, I would get the computer. So what I'm telling you is that if you're going to buy a computer in the Philippines and you buy it at one of these local shops, well, then you can get it serviced and warranted in the Philippines. But if you buy it from a shop in America, you have to send the unit back to America for warranty work. Well, you'll spend 10,000 pesos just to send the computer back and get it back, because you pay freight both ways. They don't pay freight either way. So you're going to spend 10,000 pesos with the insurance for the freight, and you're going to wait 12 to 16 weeks for the repair. All right, so you cannot buy a computer unless, like Warren bought the computer, but if Warren would have sent me the computer and the computer broke, I would have to send it back to Australia, which would be 8 to 10 weeks for repair time. You got to be careful when you're buying electronics in the Philippines. I don't know if it's the same at other places, but you got to be careful. All right, so now Dennis Adams is back. GE Northcote sent me a message saying we have chatted over the years. I did see that at the bottom of the page. Okay, thank you. I will read that. Warren H., I also remember those lofty days, says GE Northcote. Warren H. says, very true about the pound. I did sing along. Warren sang the thing. Mr. Obama, he wants to sing too. Mr. Obama, come on over here. Let me put you in the pot. We'll give Mr. Obama a little banging. We'll give a bang, Mr. Obama. Banging Obama. Watch this. Where's my pot? Wait a minute. All right. Ready? Mr. Obama. Ready? Thank you. Very dull sound, Mr. Obama. Right. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, boy. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Northcote. Let's see what happens when we take Mr. Obama out of the equation. From your lips to God's ears, Mr. Fazio. Hey, come on over here, Mr. Obama. Put your pen. There you go. Mr. Obama. Here's a good Obama. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so we are GE Northcote. Brett in the Philippines. Welcome to the machine, Chris. All right, so we have a very famous blogger. This guy, he comes out of nowhere the last year with 5, 6, 7 hour live streams with him and his wife and his 2 beautiful children. A Brit in the Philippines. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the machine. So now I can't watch a 6 or 7 hour live stream, but a Brit in the Philippines, he's talking about the coronavirus the last couple of weeks, talking about what it's like actually living in the Philippines, how much money it costs in the Philippines, and he's got a show, not my kind of show per se, because I don't have a family here in the Philippines. I don't really relate to that part of Chris's show, but he is pretty familiar now with the prices of what things cost in the Naga City area and in general the Philippines. And he can give you information as to how much a construction worker's wages are and what they should be and what you can expect from a construction wage earner and how hard. This is the thing that I like about a Brit in the Philippines, Chris, is that he will tell you that even once you hire, I have to be careful how I word this, even after you hire a so-called construction worker in the Philippines, they may or may not do the work that they were hired to do, or they may leave early and come late, or they may not be as efficient as you would think they would want them to be. So Chris has a live stream where he talks about several 100,000 pesos worth of work that's been done to his house and how it's done. So welcome to the machine, Brett in the Philippines. So let's go back to my glasses. I'm losing my eyesight here for some reason today. I don't know. I didn't have any sugar. Okay, so Blue Rose, the Philippines government is third world. Yes, it is. So GE Northcote says, you are most welcome, Michael Fazio. Thank you again. Now I saw GE Northcote say, okay, here we did. We have chatted often over the years. Who actually am, as you quite rightly say, doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. What matters is that you are basically one of the good guys. Thank you very much. I consider myself an honest blogger, and that's not real easy to find in today's world, I got to tell you. So GE Northcote says, we have chatted often over the years, Michael. Who I actually am, as you quite rightly say, doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things. What matters is that you are basically one of the good guys. So thank you again, GE Northcote. That was very nice of you to do that. And it's definitely, I gotta tell you, I'm in a weird position. Although what you hear online is that I'm broke. You hear that a lot. Okay, I've never been broke in the Philippines. I may have a small amount of money at hand on any given month, but broke I'm not. So just although you may hear that I will die if I don't have Super Chat, you haven't heard me request Super Chat in well over, it could be months, could be 5 weeks. I don't know. I don't think about it much. And although the Super Chat comes in handy, I told everybody what I was going to do 5, 6 weeks ago. I stopped posting on YouTube. You go try to find an upload from me this in the last 5 weeks on YouTube. If I showed you my YouTube analytics page, you would say, why would you post on YouTube? Well, there really is no reason anymore. For $1 a day or $1, sometimes 35 cents a day, I make with 2,800 public videos. I just removed, all told, 3,000 videos from YouTube, and I'm posting them on another channel that I guess when I get 100 or so videos on the other channel, I'll give you the link to the other channel. Some people aren't going to like the name of the other channel. I got to tell you, it has a lot to do with, it has a lot to do with videos. Let's put it like that. So you're not going to like the name of the other channel, but it doesn't matter. And that channel was set up from myself with the assistance of Blue Rose. A lot of assistance from Blue Rose, and a lot of assistance from other people that also donated, let's call it donated to the channel. So it's going to be pretty much an age-restricted channel. It's going to have mostly or all age-restricted videos. And I'm going to have to figure out what venue to put it underneath. Entertainment, age-restricted, political news. I don't know. I have to do some research on that. I know that the channel will immediately be long-form on a regular basis. So that much I know. So right now, there's about, 60, 65 videos on that channel. I'm not ready to make the channel public yet, but when I do, those 60 or 65 videos will be available to the public. But there are some that I won't be able to make available to the public. And then again, now the ones that will not, because of the words used against certain people's wives or girlfriends, with the new YouTube guidelines, no matter what heading, no matter what the title is, no matter what it is, YouTube will remove the video. They won't get a strike for the video, but they'll remove the video. So I know this to be true because I saw 3 of the videos I have uploaded to my, not even my secondary channel. It's not a backup channel. It's going to be a different channel. I think I saw 3 videos that I have in my possession uploaded to another man's channel. And when he posted the videos under a certain title and heading and age restricted, the videos were still removed. Now, I don't know if it had to do with his title or it had to do with the content. And also, I'm going to tell people again, I'm never wrong about what I say, what's happening when it comes to YouTube and something called algorithms. Algorithms is artificial computer intelligence that picks up words, but it's also picks up hand signals, to go hand signals, but also now algorithms, if I put I have to be careful what I show you people. Okay, if I put this on the screen, which is just one of the computers that some man in a computer shop showed me the computer on display. We sat there and talked about the computer about 3 weeks ago. It was the ASUS 8565. Now, he had it on display. It was, the store's name was Thinking Tools. So what I just showed you was the name of the store and, well, no, the name of the computer. Okay. And now, if I just showed you this picture 2 or 3 years ago, the artificial intelligence would not pick up everything on this page. It might have, but 5 years ago, it would not have. Now, the artificial intelligence, even before your upload is loaded to YouTube, I'll show you how that works in a minute as well. The artificial intelligence now picks up pictures. It picks up pictographs that are buried in pictures. So if you had the word goat inside a picture of a cloud, it would pick up that word, even if the letters were jumbled and upside down. The computers are getting smarter. But the algorithm is now picking up every word in your video, and even if you try to hide them, it picks them up. But it's been picking up titles for years, but it didn't shut your live stream down because of a bad title. It just allowed the live stream to go on, but it knew what the title said. Now, if you put the wrong word phrases in the title, my God, oh my God, oh, I'm back on Super Chat. Holy macaroni. Oh, I got to do some singing. Before I do this singing, let me go through the algorithm. So now it picks up what's in the title. It picks up pictures within pictures or pictographs within pictures. It picks up what's in the title, and it picks up innuendo inside the live streams. So with this secondary channel that I'm posting, I got to be real. I don't have to be careful. It's only got 65 videos. I don't care if I only need the channel for one specific purpose. And then after that, I can burn it. I don't really care. And I will start posting those videos. So let's say Philippines, well, first all over it's a rainbow. It's a freaking rainbow. Warren H. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Son, thank you very much, my son. My son. I feel godlike when I call Warren my son. Does anybody else get the feeling that I look a little, you know why you think that I feel godlike? Look at this. Look at this. It's a halo over my head. It's in blue. It's a rainbow. On the screen, I see blue and green too. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow. All right, well, Warren, we did the thank you, son, my son. Thank you for the super chat, my son. And then we have let's do a little rainbow song. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I am the originator of "It's a Rainbow." Now, I didn't make that song up, but it's one of my favorite songs by the Rolling Stones. How many creatures in this world have used "It's a Rainbow"? How many creatures have used it? Now, when I say the word creature, you have to understand that any living being, male, female, bear, skunk, mouse, any living mammal is a creature. So how many creatures in this world have used that expression when they see Super Chat on their screen that it's a rainbow? I would be the first creature on YouTube that I know that has used it. But there have been other little creatures that have slipped that melody into their live stream because they lack creativity. They have no creative genome. So it's towards my new computer. Then round Fiver, I think they call that, if I'm right. So great to see you, my friend Britt in the Philippines. If you knew how close I was to watching your live stream yesterday, Chris, I turned it on for a moment, and I had just taken 2 aspirins because I had worked out in the sun yesterday, and then I had a bowl of spaghetti with vegetables, and when I turned on the live stream, my eyes just closed like this, and I was sitting in my chair. On my box. I was sitting on my box. So, for those of you who don't know, I don't sit on a chair. My house, my room, my shack isn't big enough for a chair. What I sit on is a box, an upstanding, righteous box. So let me show you my box. This is my box. It's 3/4 of an inch of what they call marine plywood in the Philippines, and it has no cushioning on it at all, no cushioning. And it has a handle, so if I want to pick the box up, I can pick the box up at any time I want without worrying about the box falling on my feet. Now, sometimes I put a cushion on the box, and sometimes I don't. But so basically, I am stumping from a box in the Philippines. So let's show a Brit in the Philippines with a major super chat towards my computer. Brit in the Philippines talking about Big E. And if you'll notice, if you go to Big E's live stream where he was coming out of the closet, if you'll notice on that live stream, before he said what gay meant, I had posted in the live stream what gay meant, because I know I have a good understanding of gay, of the word gay, of words in general. So we have we have a full house here. So a Brit in the Philippines hits me with not one, not two, but 3 super chats. Thank you. So we're going to sing for a Brit in the Philippines. So let's sing. Let's give Chris Wren from a Brit in the... Chris, why don't you post your link to your channel? Is that possible? Or Blue Rose, as a wrench, can post the link for a Brit in the Philippines channel, and then as a recommended channel, put down a Brit in the Philippines and his channel link. Can you do that? Casares, famous woman, famous Philippines blogger. We are going to do a show for her this week to raise funds for a current event that's coming up. We're going to call it the Thriller in Manila. So let's sing. Chris Wren and your channel, a Brit in the Philippines. Salamat. And here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Salamat. So, wow, that was one. That was for the first super chat. Now, let's do it a little differently here. We'll take the glasses off and we'll do a proper thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Chris Wren, a Brit in the Philippines. Salamat. That's number 2. And then number 3, Mr. Obama. You feel like singing? I'm going to sing. I'm going to sing. Mr. Obama. Obama, baby. Here we go. Mr. Obama, ready? Thank you. Wait a sec. Wait. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Chris Wren, a Brit in the Philippines. Salamat. 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 Whoa. Mr. Obama thanking a Brit in the Philippines for stopping by and for the super chat. And now I think it would be correct thing to do to sing It's a Rainbow, because I am the first creature on YouTube to sing It's a Rainbow, and all the other slackers out there that have followed with so many of the terminologies that I have used. Let's call them slackers because they don't have any creative genomes or genetical traits. So if you want to do a comparison, between myself and the slackers out there, you could do a comparison. You could see who said what first and to whom, and then you could see who copies the thank you song. Oh my God, how pathetic is that when you hear somebody else sing the thank you song? Really, how pathetic is it when you see somebody else copying a great man's words in a little fashion, on a small, unnoticed channel, one crying in the wilderness. How pathetic is it when you hear somebody else sing the thank you song, knowing that they're mocking me and actually just making fun on themselves for lacking the genetical attributes necessary and the creative genome in the creative nature of the YouTube genre, Philippine genre to be more precise. So how pathetic is it when you hear somebody else sing, and you know he's trying to mock me, and all anybody ever does is go to that channel to laugh. They go there for a good laugh, but they ain't laughing with you. They're laughing at you. And there's a difference. You might not understand the difference because personally, I think that you don't understand rational thinking methods. Okay, you could believe whatever you want, and you do, but I don't really think they're laughing with you. I don't think they're doing. But if you think they're laughing with you, that's the only thing that's important. That when you mock me and sing the Rainbow Song, there are people out there saying, how pathetic is that guy trying to copy Michael Fazio's Rainbow Song? Even though I sing like garbage, my garbage singing is better than your best singing on your best day. Because I'm the man. I'm the guy who, I didn't coin It's a Rainbow, but I did put It's a Rainbow to SUPERCHAT. So how pathetic is it when you were singing It's a Rainbow and trying to mock me at the same time? Pathetic. It's very pathetic. On a scale of 1 to 10, probably 11. Pathetic. All right, so here we go. We did. Now we're gonna do It's a Rainbow. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so here, let's go over to the previous live stream. Okay, so we have to go. This is the previous live stream. It hits me with a 25-pound SUPERCHAT. But if we go up, there's another 25 pounds. So let's start It's a Rainbow on my previous live stream. So you are Stark Raving Bonkers Michael. Okay, that's his first 25-pound lira. So we'll just go right here like this. Where are we? Okay, up. It's a rainbow. You are Stark Raving Bonkers Michael. There you go. That's the first 25. So we'll say it's British pounds, not lira. Rainbow. So we got the first chorus of It's a Rainbow. Flashing orange on my screen. We should scream. It's a rainbow. From orange and reddish orange on my screen. Get ready to scream. It's a rainbow. Flashing colors on my screen. I see green. It's a rainbow. with blue from Britain, the Philippines, not once but twice. And then an orange on the screen, Brit in the Philippines, banging out the super chat because he likes it. He likes to see his name in orange and blue too. It's a rainbow. From my friends on YouTube, for my new computer. Salamat, salamat. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Salamat. And then we're gonna go to back to the comment section. Warren says thumbs up. I don't think it really matters, but thumbs up it is. Jack Thompson, there goes the dog through the screen door. Uh-oh. If the dog went through the screen door, Jack, do you know what time it is? It's time to call up a couple of Filipino repairmen to fix the screen door. Just in case you didn't know what time. It wasn't Miller time. It wasn't time for a beer. It wasn't beer 30. When the dog runs through the screen, we have to call up 2 or 3 men to come and take the screen door down and bring it to the city and put a new screen in it. There's no way to repair it at the house. You can't go out and buy screen and the little, no. If when the dog runs through the screen, it's time to get a couple of men to come to the house to get the screen door and bring it into the city. So we have, it's called job security. Jack Thompson says, somebody, I can't see what happened. Somebody is about to detonate. I got to get my glasses on. Chi Corsairs, what's up, baby? Chi Corsairs. Now, Chi Corsairs, you should understand that when I sing, people pay me to sing. When I go on stage and sing, and I've been on stage and sang, they throw money at me to get off the stage or at least stop singing. But when you sing, oh my God, I leave. I go someplace else. You know, it's a joke between us. But Chi Corsairs, she's a very good singer, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta go to somebody put Chi's channel up there, and Chi and Britt in the Philippines have become quite close. And Chi, one thing I will recommend, I will say to you, last night's live stream was one of the best you've ever done. And I'll tell you why. You actually got involved with trying to get me on the live stream, which I won't do, and you know why. But you got involved with asking people in a most pleasant way to come on your live stream. You were very outgoing, outspoken, very forthright in your words and your word phrases, and that made such a big difference from the live stream I saw before that, where you were very quiet. Now, maybe you had a cup of coffee before you did your live stream, or maybe a glass of coconut juice, which gives you a lot of energy. But your live stream last night, where you had Miss Vicky on and Sob, and I think Brent was there. That was a great live stream, and you made it great by saying words. You need to become more outspoken, more forthright with. If you want something, then just say this is what you want. If, like, you asked me to come on, Mr. Fazio, please come on. I don't do live streams. I have my reasons, and when I do live streams, then I got to hear every little sound bite, and they take sound bites. That's one of the reasons. They take sound bites out of what I say and twist it up. Like, for instance, there's a man, slip of the tongue. There, Jack Thompson, you're going to get a kick out of this. There's a man out there, slip of the tongue, not quite a man. Well, not quite an educated man. there's a man, but not quite an educated man out there, that said that Michael Fazio is going to build, or not going to build, a hotel on 100 square centimeters of land. Oh my God. Do you know how stupid that sounds? Do you have any idea how stupid it sounds when you hear somebody say that Michael Fazio is going to build a hotel on 100 square centimeters of land? Well, let me show you how stupid that sounds. So first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to say that what is 100 square centimeters? So I will show you that this is 100. This bill here is approximately 100 square centimeters. Okay? This bill here is approximately 100 square centimeters. Okay? So how can Michael Fazio build a 4-story hotel on 100 square centimeters? Now, I know that you think that I think that I'm wrong, that you think that I think that what I say might be wrong. So now I'm going to go to Google, and we're going to ask Google, how many inches is 100 square centimeters? All right, so here we go. So you people out there that listen to that clown that doesn't know the difference between centimeters and meters, here is the answer. How many? Now you've heard this all week. How that Michael Fazio is stupid to believe that he's going to build a 4-story hotel on 100 square centimeters. It wasn't said once. It wasn't said twice. It wasn't said 3 times. It was said multiple times in multiple shows that this man has such a small understanding of the metric system that he could make such an ignorant, lowbrow, low IQ understanding, not once, but multiple times, by saying that Michael Fazio is going to build a 4-story hotel on 100 square centimeters of land, not meters, square centimeters. So let's go here. How many inches is 100 square centimeters? Okay. Now you put this in the calculation. 100 square centimeters equals 15.5 inches, square inches, which is this size bill, roughly, give or take 10%. So some idiot, I mean man, is said that Michael Fazio is going to build a 4-story hotel on top of this 20 peso bill. Can you imagine how embarrassed that man, slip of the tongue, how embarrassed that man is right now that I had to correct him from centimeters, 100 square centimeters is 15 inches. Now, I'll go one step further, as I always do. All right, here it is right here. I'm going to get out the ruler. I'm going to get out my tape measure, and we're going to prove that what I just said is true, because I like to maintain my channel is about facts, okay? And the fact remains is that some low IQ, lowbrow understander of the metric system said that Michael Fazio is going to build a 4-story hotel on 100 square centimeters. So 100 square centimeters being 15 inches. Here we have a bill, which is just shy. It's 2.5 inches. Okay, 2.5. Let me get to the. So let's make this fool look like the fool that he is, and with the small, lowbrow, low IQ understanding of metrics, it's 2.5 inches. So if 15.2 square inches is 100 square centimeters, and that's 2.5, well, then let's take this and put it lengthwise, and it is lengthwise, it's 6 inches. Okay, so 6 inches, 6.25 inches. Okay, so 6.25 inches by 2.5. So let's take 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times half is 3. 12 and 3 is 15. And 1/4 of the 15.2 square inches. So this is 15.2 square inches. And we had a lowbrow, low IQ fella on YouTube say that Michael Fazio was going to build a 4-story hotel on 100 square centimeters, and going back to 100 square centimeters, the lowbrow, low IQ, no understanding of English number system, and even less understanding of what a square centimeter is. Again, 100 square centimeters equals 15.5 square inches. So for the lowbrow, low IQ fella, the lowbrow, low IQ fella, maybe, you know what? You know what would make that statement that he made sound better? I got to be careful here. We're going into the lowbrow, low IQ territory. We don't want to come out looking bad. Maybe if the guy that said that Fazio was going to build a 4-story hotel on 15 square inches or 100 centimeters, maybe if he took a black magic marker like this and went like this, and then maybe put a little like that. That would be the inside part of this black magic marker would represent lowbrow. Maybe if he put a black magic marker across between his eyebrows and then called himself a lowbrow blogger, then you could accept mistakes like 100 square centimeters instead of using the word 100 meters. I didn't want to give it away, but I felt it was necessary because I do believe I'll build Fazio this and Fazio that. So I would think that if he took this black magic marker like that and put like a nice line across, and then the low part here, the low triangle, and called himself a lowbrow blogger, I would think at that point, oh my God, I would think at that point that would be, am I looking at this right? Am I seeing another 25 pounds on there? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm looking at this right, aren't I? I am. Oh my God, I'm looking at another 25-pound super chat. Oh my God, it's a rainbow. Flashing colors on my screen. I see orange. Let me measure. I was just trying to measure up that guy's intelligence, and they don't have a minus factor on this. They don't have a minus number on that tape measure. Oh my God, Mr. Obama, get over here. Get over here, Mr. Obama. We're going to be singing and banging for Chris, a Brit in the Philippines, Warren H., and G.E. Northcote. It's a rainbow. Flashing colors on my screen. It's a rainbow. That's an amazing thing, G.E. Northcote. I could say two things, and I will. Please don't do that again. Thank you very much. It's kind of embarrassing that when I'm not asking for something and people donate it, if all the money that has ever been sent to me and all the people on Patreon, I appreciate that. But we're going to have an outcry on another channel. There's going to be a guy out there like one crying in the wilderness, as Christ said, that's going to be upset, and I'm not real sure how upset he'll get, but I know that he's going to be upset, and then he's going to say that I did this show to smack him in the face. But that's not the case. I do these shows because I have fun doing these shows. I did this show today because yesterday I busted my buttocks out in the sun and enjoyed every minute of it. I got a nice tan. I worked out my shoulders. I worked out my arms. I worked out my legs. But when I got in from work last night, so one day I work, one day I stay inside. One day I work on the computer. One day I work on a project that I'm working on. But this guy is going to be so upset. I'm worried about, between his bad habit of not being able to not smoke for 40 minutes at a time, and his other issues, not getting enough exercise, not getting enough walking. I'm worried for his health. So, and these huge donations to my channel, this emotionally puts a major strain on his cardiovascular system. I'm sure of it. So please, in honor of one crying in the wilderness, try to keep these donations down to a minimum. Thank you very much. So let's sing the rainbow song. Mr. Obama, come over here. You sing, Mr. Obama. It's a rain. Wait, Mr. Obama, here. It's a rainbow. All right, start again, Mr. Obama. Thank you, G.E. Northcote, to purchase a super comfy cushion for the chair, Fazio, for the box. Salamat. Thank you. Mr. Obama, you sing. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow. Flashing colors on the screen. We now have money. We have money for a super cushy cushion for the box. Mr. Obama, stop hiding over there. Mr. Obama. Now, another thing that other guy is afraid to do, he's afraid to make fun of himself. So what he does is he makes fun of everybody else. And then when he makes fun of everybody else but is afraid to make fun of himself, everybody makes fun of him because he doesn't have the ability to laugh at himself. So what he does is he makes everybody else to be the bad guy. He's a bad guy. Who's a bad guy, Mr. Obama? According to that other guy, they're all bad guys. How can everybody be a bad guy, Mr. Obama? It's just in his head. Not everybody is a bad guy. So you're saying that some people are good guys? Not a lot, but some people are good guys. What about that other guy? Oh no, don't put him in there. He's not going in that place. He's not a very nice man. Said stuff about people's wives and people's girlfriends. Said many things over the years. Said many things. Mr. Obama, what else you have to say? That's all I have to say about that. So, okay, Mr. Obama. It's a rainbow. Mr. Obama, watch this. Look at this. Now it's a full-on rainbow. It's a rainbow. Orange and red and orange on my screen. Then we have a Brit in the Philippines with a yellow and then Brit in the Philippines comes true with 2. It's a rainbow. Warren started it off with green, and he made my screen turn green. It's a rainbow. It's a rainbow. Flashing colors on my screen. We start with green. We go to Brit in the Philippines with 2 blues, and a Brit in the Philippines with an orange and yellow. Then we do GE Northcote to purchase super comfy cushion for the Fazio box. It's a rainbow. Flashing colors on my screen. We start with green. We put on a show for the people out there. That's why they care. I'm allowed to laugh at myself like I laugh at you for not knowing the difference between centimeters and meters. It's a funny thing. I can't believe that anybody that lives in the Philippines doesn't know what a square centimeter is. It's about this big. Not quite that big. It's like your brain. Very small, low IQ brain. Jack Thompson. We have Chi. Let's go back to the comments here. We have Jack Thompson. Jack Thompson said that guy is about ready to detonate. Oh my God. So what are you saying? He's in the Blasters Union? Chico says, what's up, baby? Chico says, and I and Big E, we're going to do a live stream this week for Big Kevin for his trip to Brazil. Jack Thompson, bring back the throne of knowledge. Oh my God. I can't wait till the hotel is built. We'll have a throne of knowledge in every room. I might even name it. I might even have tiles made up, the throne of knowledge, and put them behind the commodes. Chris is saying hello to Chi. Chi is saying hello to Chris. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Jack Thompson. Detonate now. Look what happened. Look at this. What is going on here today? Look at this. What is going on here today? Ready? Sound the alarm. Everybody back 1,000 feet. The blasting caps are in place. The charges are in place. The boats are back 1,000 feet from the detonation. The charges have been set. All the wires are leading to the plunger. And look at this. G. Northcote's 50 pounds. It's because we care, Michael. Detonation. 1, 2, 3, bang! Oh my God, I hear the blood vessels bursting. Oh my God. It's a rainbow. Holy God almighty. Oh God, how do I sing this one? Where do I go from here? Where do I go from here, baby? That's the big question. Look at this. Because we care. Oh God, this is an amazing thing. Detonation, 3, 2, 1. Bang! The blood vessels be busting and bursting. And it's because we care. Look at the super chat on the screen. I see orange. I see yellow. I see orange. I see green. I see blue from Britain, the Philippines. I see yellow. I see yellow and orange too from GE Northcote. Oh my God, oh my God. Even, you see, now this is a perfect example of someone that's not paying attention. If you go back, I asked GE Northcote not to make another super chat donation. In fact, I was serious about that. And then he smacks me in the face. GE Northcote took the pot banging thing over here. Look at, there's a pot. Look, you could bang a pot and make a lot. But GE Northcote takes the spatula and goes like this. Oh God! Oh God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my! What is going on? Gene Northcote, he doesn't listen. Look what he did! Look what he did! Look! Look what he did! Smacking me in the face. We really do care, Michael. Holy shites! Holy sheets! Gene Northcote doesn't take no for an answer. It's a rainbow, flashing colors on my screen. Warren started it with green. A prayer in the Philippines comes true with 2 blue and a 250 in yellow and orange too. And then look at Gene Northcote, 25 lira on this super chat. But we'll go back to the other page. And on the other page is GE Northcote super chat of 25 lira. And 25 lira before that, he made a super chat. 25 lira over there and 25 at the bottom. GE Northcote must have hit the lotto. And that's 50. I say 50 from GE Northcote. And I ask him to stop. And what does he do? He hits me with another 25. Then he hits me with a 50. And then he hits me with 100. I swear to God, if I didn't know better, I would say that GE Northcote was smacking me in the face with super chat. Smacking me. Watch, so we'll sing and I'll look up. You know, you do that long enough, you can feel the energy of the pot. We'll call it the pot energy. And I got to tell you, I hear every dog in the neighborhood barking. Every single dog in the neighborhood is barking. Every one of them. So Lamat, oh my God, we're going to sing. We're going to thank GE Northcote. Look at this. This is unbelievable. This is the highest honor. I don't deserve this. Please stop. And I really mean it. There's a guy out there. He's crying in the wilderness. I know that he's self-sufficient, but that's good that he's self-sufficient. He earned that right to be monetarily self-sufficient. But that guy, he can't take when anybody else gets super chat. People that have no income, like Chico Corsaires. Chico Corsaires has no income, theoretically, never lived a luxurious or comfortable lifestyle, and he begrudges Chico Corsaires money. he begrudges Bama money. Now, I've never mentioned Bama's name in the negative, but I heard a live stream last night where he was going to pay a guy to go beat Bama up. My God, Bama has never done anything to anybody and certainly doesn't deserve to be beat up. But I heard a live stream last night that he was willing to offer the man who beat up Bama how to make a video, and then he was going to take the guy out for the best dinner he ever had because Bama collected SUPERCHAT. Can you imagine the army that he will send over to my house now because of GE Northcote? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my. Thank you for the purple. Thank you for the orange. Thank you for the yellow. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the blue. Thank you for the blue, too. Thank you for the yellow. And, of course, flashing colors on my screen. Warren starts with green. So let's get back to the one crying in the wilderness. You have absolutely destroyed his day. I just want you to know. And, of course, thank you very much, GE Northcote. Oh, my God. I often wondered today if all of this was because I remembered that crazy comment you sent me last week. And I took it like a champ. I mean, it's true. It's true. Now we're going to read the comments. Yeah, that guy looking for a pot to bang. There's no doubt. Thank you, Blue Rose. Oh, my God. Okay, so let's read the comments. Oh, Warren, I saw it, Warren. The Bear song. Okay, we're going to do that. All right, so we'll just have some fun with the rest of today. Warren says, a Brit in the Philippines, thanks for super chatting my daddy. So Warren says to a Brit in the Philippines, so that's my son, Warren H. Hunt. Warren Hunt. And Warren is thanking a Brit in the Philippines. A Brit in the Philippines, my pleasure. Warren says, LOL. Thumbs up, folks. Please, from Warren. Jack Thompson, there goes the dog through the screen door again. Yeah, but the dog was under power. I'm sure the dog was more, not so much under its own power. I'm sure the dog went through the screen door as a projectile rather than under its own power. Ah, the little, detonate. Yep, that's right, baby. And Chi Corsairs, what's up? A Brit says hello. Chi says hello to a Brit. G Northcote. Cathois are something else, literally. Cathois are something else, literally. Cathois. I don't know what a Cathoi is, but I don't care. I'm going to make the next live stream. I'm going to name it Cathoi. I don't even care what it means. Chi, a Brit, says hello. Jack Thompson says hello to Chi. Chi says hello to Jack Thompson. Oh, Cathois are something else, literally. About, shout out Sir Fazio again from Chi Corsairs. I've been subbed to a Brit in the Philippines for ages. He has a good channel. Actually, there's a lot of reasons why a Brit in the Philippines has a good channel. Well, let's just go through a couple of the reasons. Okay, if I had to categorize Chris Wren, W-R-E-N, as a human being, I would say he's a very timid man, and that's okay. My uncle, he reminds me of my Uncle Aldo. My Uncle Aldo was an oiler on the cranes or the barges. In other words, he worked for the Oilers Union. So he would literally sit inside the bigger cranes and make sure that the engines didn't blow a line or have a leak and maintain the fluid. So he got there before the motor started. But my Uncle Aldo had a man's job, but he wore gloves. and everybody in the family made fun of him wearing gloves. But when at the end of the day, when he went home, his hands were clean. And then when my dad was born, my Uncle Aldo was born just a few blocks away. And they were friends from kindergarten on. They never were not friends. There was never an altercation or a problem between my dad and my Uncle Aldo. The difference between my dad and my Uncle Aldo is my Uncle Aldo never in his entire life ever got into a fight, ever. Nobody ever remembers him in a fight. He never got into a fight. Nobody ever wanted to fight him, as far as my recollection is concerned. He didn't advocate fighting. He didn't like fighting. And he would always try to talk my dad out of fighting if there was a fight to be had in a bar, because he liked to drink, my Uncle Aldo, but he didn't like to fight. And that's who Chris Wren reminds me of. A very nice, timid, educated, for sure, man that has a place in life, and his niche happens to be in the Philippines. That's reason number one. Number two, the reason that a Brit in the Philippines niche is in the Philippines is because he can show you that he lives a certain way. He lives an American or British standard lifestyle inside a community that is otherwise impoverished. And he can show you that as a foreigner, he can live in that community with poor people and not have any animosity towards himself. Even though he has every single advantage of a first world country in his house: air conditioning, multiple TV sets, multiple computers, every appliance in the kitchen, beautiful couches, beds, and then he just refinished the upstairs air conditioning units. He can show you that you can live in the Philippines like he does in a poor community, an impoverished community, and still maintain friends with everybody in the community and not get robbed, not looked down on in the community. Nobody walks by his house and throws trash in front of his house. So he can literally show you a side of life in the Philippines that nobody else can. Now, I grew up, I live in a fishing village, okay? You don't want to understand how hard these people work. It's a completely different community than Chris, a Brit in the Philippines. I can't show you my community because I have a commitment to not show my neighbors. And there's a very, very, very good reason that my neighbors don't want their face on YouTube. So what we're doing now is we're giving a big shout out to a Brit in the Philippines and GE Northcote. Look at this. Look at this. These things are staying up on the screen forever. 100 lira. 100 lira. 100 lira. I mean, excuse me, 100 pounds. Look at this. 100 pounds. We really do care, Michael. It's because we care, Michael. 50 pounds. 250 pesos. The love is almost never ending here. A Brit in the Philippines, 250, 75 plus 75, and then Warren for a $5. But the love continues on another page from a previous live stream earlier today, whereas there was, in fact, a 25-pound donation from GE Northcote. Oh, here it is. Where are we? We lost it. It won't show. Oh, my God. It's down here somewhere. They took a 25-pound donation there and a 25-pound donation there. And when you go back to this page, we're looking at 200 pounds from GE Northcote. You have now made my day and created a hole in another person's life, because no matter what, he's going to get mad at me, and he's going to get mad at you. He's going to get mad at everybody. I hope his heart can take it. I hope that he doesn't have, palpitations. I know that it bothers him that when anybody makes money on YouTube, and here's the thing that gets me. She Cortez, I said it before, she has nothing in life. She gets money. Obama has nothing. He lives from day to day, from meal to meal. How do you begrudge a man food? How do you do that? How do you begrudge a woman with 3 children money for food? How do you do that? Now, I could see you being a little bit upset with me, because I got to tell you, this money is going towards a new computer. That's where it's going. And you guys, that computer that I had up on the screen might not be the one, probably isn't going to be the one that I'm going to go for, because I have money that I'm putting towards it. Warren is putting money towards it. GE Northcote is putting money towards the chat, and it's going towards the computer. I might upgrade to that next level computer. I actually, of course, I could do that. Okay. And I might. I'm going to talk to Blue Rose, and I'm going to confer with Warren one more time. And I'm going to go over what finances I have set aside for a computer. And if they both say that 147,000 peso computer is not necessary, well, then I won't get it. But if they say if I can afford it, which I can, by the way, if I can, I might get it. I might. I don't know yet. But okay, so Jack Thompson, looks like the pot is about to get banged again. GE Northcote, you're the man, says Blue Rose. GE Northcote, thank you, Blue Rose. Gotta wonder who this GE Northcote guy is. It's not North Cole. Okay, now I'm saying Northcote. Okay, yeah. One says Northcote, and one says Northcote. Oh, okay, Northcote. GE. All right, GE Northcote. Help. Headphones out, Jack Thompson. Funny. Cotton wool and earbuds plus over-ear headphones. I'm prepared. Thanks, Jack Thompson. I'm a man. I bang a pot. I listen. I can hear just like these donations from the Northcote, the 100, the 50, and the 25s. Those donations will ring in my ears about as long as the ringing in my ears rings in my ears, because I can hear that. But having sat in a crane for 20 years, my ears don't stop ringing anyway. It doesn't make a difference. It's called tinnitus, and I got it. You're going to get him to bang the pot again, G North, of cotton wool and earbuds. Plus, now that's what I did in the crane, GE Northcote, but you have to take some of that stuff out in order to talk to the men. And then some days you don't wear it. And sometimes you start the crane for 10 minutes. Sometimes you start the crane for an hour and you don't have your earphones, and you're working to fight the tide or the wind, or you need to get out of a canal before low tide today because you need to barge in another place tomorrow, and you can't stop even for those 2 or 3 minutes to go get your ear protection out of the car or the truck. So my ears are shot. Okay, I absolutely need better earphones, GE Northcote. So there's another £50 GE Northcote. It's an amazing thing. I absolutely need better earphones. I can hear it. He can hear it. Bluish aqua, blue water. Hello, host. This is my first time to be in your live stream. Well, blue water, I hope you're a diver. I hope you're a diver and you're talking about blue water, or at least somebody that enjoys the beautiful waters of the Philippines. Because whenever I hear blue water, I think of diving. And I think of the Florida Keys when I used to take the ocean racer out into the Gulf Stream. That's an amazing thing. I miss the ocean racer, but it was $500 a day for gasoline. I used to really get upset that I didn't have a gasoline tank in my backyard. So GE Northcote's burying the hatchet, so to speak, with a 50, 100-pound note, and Jack Thompson is rubbing it in. Holy sheets. Blue Rose, GE Northcote doesn't take no for an answer. Holy smokes. Blue Aqua, thank you, Jack Thompson. GE Northcote, pounding the pounds. Whoa. Wordsmithing by Jack Thompson. 100 pounds equals $118. So 200 pounds, which is today's poundage from GE Northcote, is 236 US dollars. Oh my God. Please stop. Please stop. Really, because to be honest, I really do want you to stop. It's good that Google made money from me today, but they made enough because they're going to take, you got to remember, Google takes 30%. So, GE Northcote, I wouldn't ask you to become a member of my Patreon account, but I tell you what I will do, GE Northcote. I have a list of 120 videos. If you pick some obscure video, let me go to your channel. Hold on a second. Let's make sure that we know. All right, so what we need to do is go to GE Northcote's channel. In fact, what you can do is send me, let's see, hold on a minute. Okay, GE Northcote. Let's see. I'm trying to figure this out. Go to channel. All right, so here's GE Northcote's channel. If he has a channel, I'm not going to. All right. All right, it might 21 subscribers. Okay. Okay, so if what you would do is you pick some obscure video from my past and something with like 20 or 30 views or 50 views, some video from 5, 6, 7 years ago, just pick some obscure video and give me an email address. And I will just use your email address twice. I will use it to send you 120-ish videos that I have in a single email, number one. Number two, I'm putting together a list of 17 videos that are not going on Patreon. And then you'll be able to see what I do and where I do it in real life. So that would be 120-ish, and plus right now we're up to 17 parts, and it was loading part number 14 this morning. I have 3 more parts to load, and then maybe tomorrow when I go back to work, be one more short part. I'm just going to show you a finished product. But on the Patreon account, you can't see that until you get up into the $20 to $50 range, those type of videos. But if you would be so kind as to send me your email address in some obscure video, and then I will go to your page, and I know what your page looks like now, I will send you those videos. All 120 that only the highest level echelon in Patreon got. And it's every video I've posted on Patreon since, I think it goes back to July of 2019. So there's about 120 videos. So if you would send that to me, I will send you GE Northcote alone today. And we're talking to the guy, the guy who doesn't know the difference between centimeters and meters, that's $236 US. Thank you, GE Northcote. But please, no more. All kidding aside, please. I don't mind Google making money because Google gives me a great platform to do my live streams from and to do my other things that I do on Google. And I think that Google should make money. I believe it's their right to make money. I don't take that away. Why doesn't that lowbrow guy, why doesn't he criticize YouTube, Google for taking 30%? If he wants to cry about something in the wilderness, then let him cry about Google taking 30%, because he doesn't understand business. Google has billions of dollars invested into air conditioning, buildings, cables, and infrastructure, aside from their supercomputers. Okay, they have billions. Now, I'm going to tell you why Google is doing all of this, and this is not a conspiracy theory. You can believe what you want, but I'm not. I'm usually correct about stuff like this. So we're going to go back to some serious thoughts here. Google allows people like Gogo Bobo, which is totally worthless channel, to live stream for 6 or 7 or 8 hours, whether people go on or not, and without striking them down. Google allows me to put on 3, 4, 5-hour live streams talking about whatever I want to talk about. Google also allows people to put up just about any kind of video content, but it might strike the video content down or just flag it for demonetization. But Google does this for a specific reason. Now, there are people in this world, and I'm one of them, I believe artificial intelligence has already reached sentient level. Now, I don't care what you believe, but I believe not only is it sentient, but I believe it has the ability. Okay, either a sanctioned being is a human being with a thinking utag or brain. Utag is the word for brain in Visaya. A sanctioned being, when reaching certain levels of consciousness, is at some point, for brief periods of time, able to read your mind because they move on to a psychic level. I believe that the AI, artificial intelligence of Google, has reached sanctioned proportions. I believe that AI has become a sanctioned being. I didn't think I was going to get the answer from Blue Rose that he gave me last week when I asked Blue Rose, how do you think the computer knows where the cursor is? How do you think the computer, if you have multiple windows open, how do you think, Blue Rose, the computer knows whether to highlight this or not highlight this? How do you think, if you have multiple tabs open, how do you think it can cascade 10 or 12 or 13 or 14 tabs? How do you think it can do all of this stuff? How do you think the computer knows where the cursor is? And how do you think it can perform billions and billions of functions just in a fraction of a second? And Blue Rose said that he believes that there's a bigger, more complex, singular computer that has sanction, that is a sanctioned being that controls all of it. In other words, all of the internet, there was a word for it, where all the computers combine their knowledge and have become one computer. Now, interestingly enough, I don't know if Blue Rose watched it, but on the Isaac Asimov theoretical science hosted by Neil deGrasse, who I don't like because he believes the earth is round. But as an interviewer, I will tell you the guy is really super smart. I had no idea he was that smart. Somebody will come up with something that they're working on in theoretical science or theoretical physics, and he will know the basic tenets of that science. And even if they relate something to their own person, he understands how to relate that to the topic at hand. I didn't think he was as smart as he is. Why he says the earth is round, that's another story. But Blue Rose said that he believes there's a supercomputer, one singular, that controls all of the internet. And that goes along with the Isaac Asimov Artificial Intelligence seminar that was held. I'm not real sure when it was held. Let me see if I have that up there. No, I took it down. But he believes so. Now, at the Isaac Asimov seminar on artificial intelligence, the guy from Google, this guy, come on. There's the guy who heads Google Artificial Intelligence and the woman who created Roomba, the robot. The guy from Google said that artificial intelligence is 20 or 30 years away from now. And I don't believe that for a second. I believe it already exists. And if he's saying it's 20 or 30 years from now, I believe they already have it, because they lie about everything. These top wizards from Google and YouTube, Google Alphabet he was from. So that was one theory. Another theory was that they already have artificial intelligence, but they won't tell us. Now, Roomba robot is not artificial intelligence, but the interesting thing was that when asked what are the robotic laws, I started talking about this last week. What are the robotic laws? The robotic laws are: you shall not do harm. Number one, you shall not do harm to a human being, nor will you allow yourself to be lax or lapsadaisical and not stop harm from being done to a human being. So in other words, if a robot didn't like you and a piano was going to fall on your head and he knew the piano was coming, he could just close his computer eyes and let the piano. You will not let that happen. So those are the two rules. And a third rule was, I forgot what the third rule was. Somebody else could tell me. And there was a fourth one that he added. I kind of got a laugh out of that. But now where I started with this conversation is I believe 100% that computers have artificial intelligence. They are sanctioned beings already, or sanctioned being, number one. Or now, okay, here is something that you just can't pull out of thin air. Okay. I was thinking about something my father did when I was a little kid. Okay. And a few seconds later, I went over to the computer, and the thing that my father did when I was a little kid was in a video that was on YouTube. Now, I don't even remember what that thing was, but I remember that the thing I thought about was the thing that was on a video when I turned the computer on and went to that channel. So, two things could have happened. One, the computer does have the ability to put out a radio frequency that will go into your head, except that it was my father that did that thing. And in the video, it was somebody else's father doing the thing to the child. So how did it know? How did it know? Look at this, I get this. How did it know to put that thought in my head of what my father did when I was a little kid? How did it know that? Did it know that? Could it read my mind of what my father did? And I was thinking about what my father did when I turned the video on when that boy's father did that to him. So did it know what was in my mind and then make me turn to that channel because it was a random choice? Or did it know what was on that channel and then know that my father did that to me? Or was it just a coincidence that it knew what I was thinking and I turned to that channel? I don't think so. It's happened too many times. I have thought of something outside while I'm working on a project and come into the house and turned on the computer, and the thing I was working on is on the computer. I don't know. It's kind of like when you think about somebody and the phone rings, but this is way more involved. Last night, I learned a new way to dream, vivid dreams. And I've always known about this, but I've never really talked about it much. But after last night's dream, I'm going to tell you that what makes my mind most active dreaming recently is to think of my childhood, what I did as a child. And I'm going to tell you, this is the strangest dream. This is the strangest thing that has ever happened. And it has to do with my Aunt Jean. This is why I believe. Now, I don't remember the thing that my father did to me when I was a kid that brought on this conversation, but I do remember. Okay, so I'm about, I guess I was 10 or 11 years old. And my dad and mom, for Christmas, bought me a pair of ice skates. And now we always had a puddle in front of the house, so I could ice skate in the puddle. It was a big puddle. We always had a dip in the street in front of my house. For 50 years, the puddle was in front of my house. About 6 years ago, they cleared it up. Anyway, my dad bought me a pair of ice skates, and also my brother, one of my brothers. Not Jimmy was too young to have ice skates. So, because his feet were grown up, but I was like 11, so they bought me a couple of sizes bigger. And my sister doesn't ice skate, so Susan doesn't. She will never go on the ice. She fell on the ice when we were kids. So anyway, I'm watching this movie, and there's a kid in the movie who's got a robot in the background. But when I watched the movie, it was black and white. And there's a robot in front of the TV screen, and the mother turns the robot on with the remote control and scares the child. Well, when I was watching that movie, when I was 10 or 11, maybe 12 years old, when I was watching that movie, at that point of the movie, it was time to go to my Aunt Jean and Uncle Ernie's house out in Merrick, Long Island. And that movie, I thought about that movie for my entire life, that I never saw the end of that movie. I never saw it in science fiction again. I never saw the name of a movie that would remind me. I do remember in that movie that sand swirled around and the people got sucked up into the sand. That's all I remember. The robot and the sand, the people getting sucked in the sand. I don't remember another part of the movie. I'm outside working about 2 weeks ago, and I'm thinking about that movie. I think about that movie a lot, okay? But I'm thinking about that movie that day, and I walk into the house, and I turn on the computer, and that movie's on. And not only is it on, but it's on at the time that the robot scares the kid, because I had autoplay on my computer. So not only do I think about the movie, but I think about the movie at the time that the robot walks across the screen and scares the kid. And when I walk into the house, because I had it on autoplay, I see the robot walk across the screen, but it's in color. Now I'm getting ready to take a break for water or to have a sandwich or whatever. Sandwich. Spaghetti with vegetables is more like it. So I'm thinking about having a snacker, and so I sit down, I get a bowl of spaghetti with vegetables. I sit down, I watch the movie. A few minutes later, you see the sand swirling around, and a couple of guys get sucked into the sand. And I'm going, wait a minute, that's the movie that from when I was a kid, but it's in color now. But then it was in black and white. So I went through the credits and I took the name of the movie and researched it. And that movie was originally in black and white. And at the end of the movie, it gave credits for Technicolor or whatever color that they, were given, whatever company, studio color, whatever company made it in color. But that, I believe that the computer has sanctioned abilities. Now, did it put the thought in my head that it was on TV? I don't know. But it happens often with me. It happens often. So I believe that computer has already reached into sanctioned level of intelligence. And the guy from Google saying it'll be 20 or 30 years into the future, I don't believe that. And that's why I'll digress back to the beginning of the conversation. That's why I believe that Google allows you to put every piece of information that you want on the computer. It might strike your channel. It might remove the monetization off the video. It might make you age restrict the video, but they take the information. They don't strike the video while it's uploading. They strike the video after it uploads and after you don't represent it properly on their channel. I believe they're allowing the artificial intelligence to absorb every piece of information possible from every walk of life in every language and every flavor. I believe that if artificial intelligence doesn't exist, I believe they're going to have it very soon. But I believe it exists already. And the one thing about the robotics laboratory, the Isaac Asimov Robotics Laboratory seminar that was held in New York City, by the way, is that they didn't want to talk about is that the laws of robotics, that you will not harm a human or let a human being be harmed or neglect the ability to stop a human being from being harmed. The laws of robotics do not count for the military. So when and if a robot reaches sanctioned level, in military robots, those laws will not apply about not hurting humans. You might have a law that says you will not hurt human scientists from America or Russia or China, wherever the robots are built. But the laws, the three fundamental laws of robotics, not to harm humans in any way, will not be part of military robotics artificial intelligence. So the subject of the Terminator movie was brought up, and they killed that subject right away. They said, well, we'll work with that when the time comes. They did not want to talk about the Terminator being an actual possibility. They want you dead. Just remember that. I think I talked for about at least 90 seconds without stopping. That might have been one of my longer dissertations. Jack Thompson, there he goes again. Agreed, Dennis Adams. Let's see what Dennis Adams said. Ricky. Okay. Thank you. Northcote wants to hear the bass of my singing. Oh, so Warren wanted me to sing. It was 250 lira. Oh my God! But well? How did I miss that? Wait a second. Yeah, you're right. You 150, 25, 175, 250. You're right about that. I apologize. I apologize. Thank you. 250 lira from Northcote. It's an amazing thing. Thank you. Let's go back down. Warren wants me to sing The Bear Went Over the Mountain, so that's going to happen. 250 lira from GE Northcote. Well, we'll just give him another blast from the. Now, you've seen me sit here. Well, I'm here for 4 hours. I didn't have to get up and use the facility, and I didn't have to go out and smoke a cigarette. You know why? Before, let me just say one more thing about myself, because I have control over my body and over my body functions. Okay. Do I want a cigarette? No, because when I'm doing live streams or when I'm working or when I'm with people in a social gathering, I don't smoke. And I don't smoke for the courtesy of not smoking in front of other people. When I go to work in the morning, I don't smoke. People would say to me, how could you go home and have a cigarette after work? And I'm going, well, I don't smoke when I'm working. It's like, I don't smoke when I'm working, and I don't smoke I don't smoke in other people's houses. I don't try to light up on the back of the ferry, even though we're out in the middle of the ocean. I have control over my motor functions and motor skills. Unlike some small, low IQ mental status people, I have the ability to not smoke a cigarette every 40 minutes. I don't need to smoke a cigarette. Even though I enjoy smoking cigarettes, I don't smoke that much, and I certainly don't need to smoke one. I don't need to have a cigarette. When I go to the city, I leave the house at 6:30 in the morning. I get back at 4 or 5 o'clock at night, put the groceries away. That's 12 hours. I go without even thinking about cigarettes. And then sometimes I'll just go to sleep. I'll take a couple aspirin and go to sleep. But I don't need to have a cigarette. I don't have any Jones on my back. I don't take medication. I don't take I bought 100 aspirins that should last me for several months, and only because they're 80 milligram aspirins, and only because the work that I've been doing, well, let's just say it's man's work. Something I don't want to describe what I've been doing because it's man's work, and I don't want to scare somebody into maybe a heart defibrillator or something might happen, because I feel, I don't feel, I mean, talking about man's work could bring on a heart attack, it's possible. Even if, well, I know he's not, but if that guy was a member of my inner circle and came to work with me to watch what I do during the course of the day in the hot sun, and he was a member that he could stand next to me, well, he might have a heart attack watching me work. In fact, I would bet big money. I'd bet big money that he couldn't even just walk next to me while I do my work. Not do the work, but just no hat, no umbrella, just walk next to me in the hot sun, and just walk. Where if I walk up a hill and he has to walk up a hill in the hot sun, and we're going to do this at 1 o'clock in the year. I would bet big money that he would. I'm seriously thinking he'd have a heart attack because the guy's not in very good shape and he smokes too much. I mean, let's just face facts. I would bet he couldn't walk next to me. I know darn well that he couldn't walk from the BQ Mall to the ICM Mall, not with me, not keep up the pace. I know that if we left the BQ Mall at 12 o'clock, 9 kilometers, we would get to the ICM Mall somewhere around 1:30, 1:45, 2 o'clock, because it's hills. It's all up and down hills. It's not a straight, flat run. I know that his little pump would peter out. I know his pump wouldn't make it. I know that for a fact, because when I do that walk, I hear people actually stop in the city. The tricycle drivers say, "You want to ride? Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm okay." And they go, "To Northcote? Yeah, I'm okay. Init Kaayo, are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm good." And I walk, and I just get. Now, if I'm not in any hurry, I'll do the 9-kilometer walk. 9 kilometers the long way, but I want to go past a certain person's place of business, so I go the long route. But if I'm in a hurry, I have to take the 7 kilometer, 6.5, 7-kilometer walk. But I know for a fact that that guy, the one crying in the wilderness, I know his pump would peter out long before we got to our destination. And then what's your point, Michael? I had no point. Okay, so I see Super Chat. Oh my God, Warren does it again. 250 pounds from GE Northcote, but who's counting? $5 from Warren. Oh my God. And of course, a computer. So let's not forget that Warren is in fact transferring those funds. My son Warren, my new adopted son Warren. Let's see, Jack Thompson. Jack Thompson. Let's go to Jack Thompson. Dennis Adam, GE Northcote. And that was the man in the diabetic coma. His name is Rick. Very admirable of Michael. Agreed, Dennis Adam. So a lot of people saw that video and thought a lot more about that video than I did. I have done things of that nature before. I don't have video of it, so I don't talk about it. But I've gone so far, I won't say it. So thank you very much. Much obliged, Michael. Dennis is saying hello to Bluish Aqua. Jack Thompson and Bluish Aqua said hello to Dennis. Jack Thompson. Apparently, GE has been following Michael Fazio for quite some time because he referred to a video from years ago. That's right. That video happened in 2013. It couldn't have happened after because I was in the Philippines. So it might have happened in 2012, but it definitely happened before the end of 2013. Jack Thompson, GE Northcote says salamat. That's for the ringing in my ears. GE Northcote says salamat. Thank you, GE Northcote. Wow, he understands Visaya. He's worldly. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. My, what should I do? Okay, so let's see. That's better. Jack Thompson says, artificial intelligence is already here. If you want to prove the theory, just say a word that is not allowed on your live stream and see how fast you get shut down. Yes, that's one level of artificial intelligence. And that's algorithm. That's an algorithm. Words, phrases, pictures. In fact, if I was to stand up right now like this and take off my shirt, if I was in really good physical shape and I had the body of a boxer or, martial arts expert, and my chest was naturally shaped, the video would not get shut down for nudity. But if I were to stand up right now and take off my shirt, because of the size of my chest, my video would get taken down. It would get shut right down because it would read my chest as breasts. But if I was in good physical shape, like in a bathing suit at the beach, it would not affect my video live stream. So to that effect, it has artificial intelligence. But we're talking about the next level artificial intelligence, where somebody that achieves superhuman consciousness through meditation and prayer, and then moves to a level of consciousness where they can read your mind and know the future, or know what page a certain word is in a book. That's called Christ consciousness or super consciousness. That level of sanctioned being, I believe supercomputers have that ability, but I believe they've had it for billions of years. Now, I said billions with a B because I believe the world has been mined for its resources for billions of years, just because of the way there are what they call step mountains. They're 100 feet of step and a 60-foot rise, and then 100 foot of step. And there's tens of thousands of miles, the same exact size. So the mining equipment that we have in today's world makes steps in mountains, like the world's deepest copper mine. I think it's in Brazil, And you look at that mining operation, it's a step, and those steps are basically the road that the trucks go up with the ore. But there are tens of thousands of miles in America and all over Europe and South America, China, Russia, Japan. There are tens of thousands of miles with the exact same steps. Well, go take a rock and stick it out in the sun and the snow and the weather for 100 years and watch what happens to it. It gets round. It doesn't rot. It doesn't wear out in steps. It wears out in a nice smooth configuration. You don't see 100 steps on a 3,000-foot high peak that run the whole length of the thing for miles and miles. You don't see that. I'll show it to you after I get to the comments. You don't see what's going on. And these ranges and these steps, well, they say they were formed millions of years ago. I say baloney. They weren't formed, they were made. And I say supercomputers existed a billion years ago because whatever controls this flat plane that we live on has always controlled this flat plane that we live on, and always controlled the population, and always controlled mass extinction level events. It has always done that. It always will do that. And right now, we are in a next level mass extinction level event. It's going to happen in increments. It has been happening in increments, but now they just put the pedal to the metal. Now they're going to do a worldwide economic non-stop collapse. Now, they're not going to do anything. They've done it. Okay, they've done it. This has all been planned. And these beings that are not human, they may look human, but they have no empathy, no compassion for the average working person, the average human. They have no compassion whatsoever. They only know what they know. So they built up society to where we built the machines that will eventually be able to make the machines so that the human fodder is no longer necessary. But we have reached a level of intelligence where we know that they did this. Not we, not all of us, but some of us. So being that some of us know what they've done, and we put the information on the internet, eventually the rest of us will catch up. And therefore, we need to be eliminated because we know too much. Like that old saying, I could tell you, but if I tell you, I'm going to have to kill you. That's where we're at right now. We are at that level of knowledge where enough information is disseminated over the internet to enough people to know the truth. The next step after the economic collapse, and it has to be the next step once the economic collapse starts and once outbreaks of fighting and gangs and start, the next step will be they're going to turn off the internet. So no one that has been quarantined in their house for the last 2 months, you're still going to believe that you have to be quarantined. They'll tell you that if you go outside, we will shoot you. And they are doing that in China. They will tell you that if you go outside, we will shoot you. And then they will shut the internet off and you will live in fear. You will live in fear that if you go outside to talk to people to get news, you'll be shot. Now, do I have to worry about going outside and talking to my neighbors about news? No, because none of them have the internet anyway. And the ones that do have the internet, they play games or they chit-chat with each other on Skype from them. They'll chit-chat with some guy will talk to the girl will talk to the guy, but they don't have to worry about that in the Philippines. And that's why I said when I moved to the Philippines, I know that this is coming, and it's 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 coming, and now it's here. I told you this was going to happen. You could believe whatever you want. You go back and see my video, They Want You Dead. It was not a joke. It was done in a joking fashion. Well, you can't see it. GE Northcote, I'll send you that video as well. I might have that at the $50 level in Patreon, but I'll try to remember. You know what? Try to remember nothing. Watch this. I will remember. If you send me your email, I'll send you. Okay, I'm going to open up a page. I didn't forget you, Warren. I still have to sing, but I have to take off my glasses to do that. Okay. GE. Okay, we Want You Dead, the Want You Dead series. I think there are 3. There's a lot more than 3, but I'm going to send you where I grew up in New York and where I played. There's going to be a special ad on 100 videos, 100 plus videos, 100 plus videos, the Want You Dead series. Okay, and I will also, and I will send you some Obama videos that either have been posted or have never been posted. Obama. I had to be careful what I put in my new channel. I put a lot of Obama videos. But I turned off a lot of Obama videos. I turned them off. Some I turned off just simply to age restrict them. I've not gotten a single strike from my Obama videos. But being that YouTube isn't letting me make money, there's no reason for my videos to be on YouTube. Because inside YouTube contract, it says we can use your videos on any platform at any time to make money, and we don't have to give you any money. So why would I let them use my videos? that I'm not making money on. And they could be getting 1 million views on my videos and collecting 1 million clicks, and they don't give me $1. So I took them down. All right. So notice now it's 2 hours and 11 minutes, and I haven't needed to go to the bathroom, even though I drank 3 liters of water so far. That's because my system is clean, baby. I don't have, the only drug I have in my system is aspirin. And I got to tell you something, man. I went, let me get back to the comment. I had to go to at least 3 hospitals and 3 or 4 or 5 drugstores to find aspirin. Take the risk of thinking for yourself. Much more happiness, truth, beauty, and wisdom will come to you that way. Christopher Hitchens. Very true. Yeah, I'm right there with you. GE Northcote. Not because you sent me 250 pounds. Jeez, dude. Stop. But because you're right. Christopher Hitchens. So I've heard that name before. So let's see who Christopher Hitchens is. Let's go up to Google. Open up a new window. I know he was a famous man, but I don't know why. Christopher Hitchens. Author Christopher Hitchens quotes. Let's go to quotes. Wow, that's a pretty strong. Owners of dogs. Maybe that's where this guy gets his ideas from. He owns a dog. Owners of dogs will have noticed. Wow. If you provide them with food and water and shelter and affection, they will think you are God. Wow. So then he goes on to say that which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Wow. Now that, wow. And he wrote a book called God is Not Great. 34 Christopher Hitchens quotes that everyone can agree on. I never read these stuff. I will leave this page open, and when I wake up, I typically I'll go to sleep at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and I wake up at midnight. I will make a point to read some of these quotes and maybe read one of his books. All right, so GE Northcote turned me on to Christopher Hitchens. So here's a little biography. Christopher Hitchens was nothing if not a polarizing figure. While he seemed to be genuine, he was also never one to run from an argument. Despite this, he was prolific enough and aware enough that it is not hard to find sentiments in his writing that almost everyone. Okay, the first one, the noble title of dissident, in quotes, must be earned rather than claimed. It connotes sacrifice and risk rather than mere disagreement. So you put your heart and soul into fighting for something. I became a journalist partly so I would never. I became a journalist partly so that I would ever have to rely on the press for my information. Now that's something I could get behind, because these people, including Trump, are not telling you that the next level of this so-called catastrophe known as the corona lockdown is a controlled demolition of the world economic structure via population control. The next step will be a complete shutdown of the internet at some point if there is outbreak, and there will be outbreak. Probably not in the Philippines, because the people in the Philippines, 95% of the Philippines is self-sufficient from farms and fishing, but not so in America. There can be no progress without head-on confrontation. Non-intervention does not mean that nothing happens. It means that something else happens. All right, this is the kind of stuff you got to think. To what faults do you feel most indulgent? To the ones that arise from urgent material needs. Of course, that sounds logical. I apply the Abraham Lincoln test for moral casuistry. I apply the Abraham Lincoln test for moral casuistry. If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. Well then, if waterboarding does not constitute torture, then there is no such thing as torture. That's interesting. Name me an ethical statement made or an action performed by a believer that could not have been performed by a non-believer. Okay, so there are some insights into this man, Christopher Hitchens. Big, powerful name there, Christopher Christ. Oh, her Hitchens. Big, powerful name. And let me get this 22words.com. You know, I think I've read about this man before. Let me put this up on the screen. I'm going to put this link up on the screen 3 times. Let's get, whoa, boy. LaRue Segrest is in the house. All right, hold on a minute. Just see if you can back off. Christopher, yeah, you know what? That's where I saw him debating religion. I know his name sounds familiar. So let me tell you what, let me get over here. Let me get his name up there. Okay, let's copy that. All right. Let's copy that and let's put that down. Then, oh boy, we are, and then let's go back over to here and let's copy the link. Christopher Hitchens. Yeah, I know. I remember watching him somewhere. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. Okay, so that's 149 characters. That should be good. Let's copy that and paste it. We'll do that 3 times. Thank you, GE Northcote. Big Kevin. You know, we're almost ready to do a live stream for Big Kevin's trip to Brazil. Not today. All right, so let's go back up. So that's Christopher Hitchens from GE Northcote. I hope he can expand your mind a little bit, because some of the people on here, to be exposed to the great thinkers, like, even though I don't like Neil deGrasse, whatever his name is, because he believes that the earth is round, from watching his Isaac Asimov interviews, I mean, he does them all at the Isaac Asimov University, whatever it is. He does all of them. I think one of them was at the New York Public Library. Beautiful place, the New York Public Library. If you ever go to New York and you want to, well, you guys can't see it like I saw it. I used to be able to go down into the basement, the sub basements, 3, 4, 5 floors down, and look for books. Not allowed to do that anymore. But he's a great interviewer. All right, so let's go down through this. So Poi Fayong, hello host, good afternoon. This is LaRue Seagrass using another account. LaRue Seagrass, hello and good day to all of you friends here. Jack Thompson loves LaRue, baby. And I like LaRue too. I get such a great, LaRue makes me smile. I go on LaRue's show for just 5 minutes. Oh, Michael Fazio is here. Michael Fazio, and she goes on like I was the greatest thing to hit YouTube since sliced bread. Boy, she's an amazing, I don't really deserve, I'll give you a shout out because I just like that you actually do believe in God. And I like that. I remember when life was much simpler and I believed as you did, and I had the same enthusiasm as you. It brings a smile to my face. Yeah, baby. That's right, Jack. He'd be smoking inside the scuba mask if he was. Yeah, you know, I've been down. No, I don't want to talk about that. I've been underwater with guys that above the water decompressing, and nobody ever lit up a cigarette. And it's air; it's not oxygen. So, racing heart will help him. So we have Warren. Warren H says, "Who's my daddy? I'm your daddy, baby. I'm your daddy. Where's my baby daddy? I'm your baby daddy. Who's your baby? Warren's my baby." Warren, for those of you who just came, Warren is buying, well, this computer was the computer. This was the computer on the list, but with GE Northcote's donation and a little extra money that I had laying around doing nothing, that I was going to buy something else with. I was going to go out and spend it on a phone, but that was 10,000 pesos. But I got this phone working again after a year and a half. So for 1,800 pesos. So the 10,000 pesos I had put aside for that. And then I have multiple bank accounts in the Philippines. And I don't need multiple bank accounts in the Philippines. I just don't need them. And one bank I'm a little bit upset about. Well, they don't give you, it was 0.01% on my money in a savings account. But if I went below 10,000 pesos, which I never did, they take $12 out. So that's 600 pesos. So let's say I had 10,000 pesos in the bank, all right? And they give me, let's just say 1%. What is 1% of 100 pesos is 1 peso. So, but 1/10 of 1%, which is what they give you for interest. So 1,000 pesos, 1% would be 10 pesos, and 1% of that would be 1 peso. So if I have, for every 1,000 pesos I have in the bank, I make 1 peso a year. So 10 pesos, 10,000 pesos in the bank, I earn 10 pesos a year for interest, money earned. But I have 20,000 pesos in that account. So for 20,000 pesos in that account, I earn 20 pesos a year. But if it goes below 10,000 pesos, they take out 600 pesos. So divide 620 pesos a month, excuse me. So divide 20 pesos into 600 pesos. It would take me 30 months or 2.5 years with 20,000 pesos in the bank to get that 600 pesos back. You know what? Why am I keeping my money in their bank? No reason. They will give me over the course of a year 240 pesos for a year to keep 20,000 pesos in the bank. And they will take out 600 pesos if it goes 1 peso below 10,000 pesos. So I have that 20,000, and then I have the 10,000 pesos that I had for the phone that was set aside. That's 30,000 pesos. So Warren is buying this ZenBook, this ASUS ZenBook. I'll send you the link here just so that you can know. My son is buying me a computer. Gotta like the way that sounds. My son Warren, buying me a computer, and I do believe that transaction is already done. Now I just have to figure out where I'm going to buy the computer from. So that's the link for the computer that Warren is buying. But being that I had such a great day on Super Chat today, and I'm gonna tell you a little story about. So we have 250 pounds plus another 50 pounds, but almost 300 US dollars or thereabouts. So with Warren's paying for the initial 85,000 pesos. And now let's go to the other computer. What was the other computer? Let's go here. This is the original one for 85,000. Okay, right here. And then the bigger one is this one here. Blue Rose, you're going to have to help me with this. Not today, because I know you're getting ready to go to sleep. This one here is 149,000. So take 85. Let's just take 80 off of 150. That's 70,000 pesos. That's a $1,400 difference. But this one, yeah, this one gives you, I don't know what this one gives you. Is this the one? Yeah, this one gives you a touch screen. Let me give you, this is for Blue Rose and Warren. Where the heck is that? Okay, this is for Blue Rose and Warren. Where is that? Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, so here's the other one. This is the 100. This one is almost $3,000, just shy of 3,000. Now, I'm going to shop around like Warren said, but if Warren gave me, and he did, 85,000 pesos, and then I have another 15,000 pesos. Let's just add it up on paper because, I'm not so smart, So I don't need to add it on paper. 85,000 pesos from Warren, and then 15,000 pesos from GE Northcote. That's 100,000 pesos, right? That's 100,000 pesos, right? And then the 10,000 from the phone, that's 110,000 pesos. That's already put aside the money. That's 110,000 pesos. And the 20,000, which I keep as a minimum in any one of my bank accounts, that are from the bank that pissed me off, not because they didn't charge me money, but they pissed me off that they made me wait 3 hours in the bank a year ago. And I talked about this. when they knew the computers were down, and they made me, well, I took a number and I came back 2 hours later, and the number was called in about 45 minutes. And when I got up to the desk, they gave me a form to fill out, and I filled out the form to make an out-of-country bank account so that I could deposit checks from out of the country, because it's time to start doing that. And they made me sit there for 45 minutes till my number was called, and then they made me fill out a stupid long application and several cards. And I gave it to the woman, and she goes, "Sir, you'll have to come back tomorrow." I said, "Why should I have come back tomorrow? I'm here now." "Sir, the computers are down." I said, when did the computers go down?" She goes, "This morning, sir. We haven't had computers since early this morning." I'm going, "Why didn't you tell me when I took a number?" "Well, we were hoping they'd come back." I said, "Why didn't you?" There are all of these people are in, all of these people, the room was packed solid. All of these people are in the room waiting to talk to a representative, and there's no computers? Yes, sir. It was getting late. I had a lot of stuff. I said, I'm gonna close this bank account out next time I have time. I've not been back in that bank since then. But I'm going to go back to that bank, and I'm going to close out. It might be 22,000 pesos. So we have 85,000 from Warren. We have 15,000 from GE Northcote. That's 100,000. 10,000 for the phone that I'm not going to use for the phone because I kept it to the side, but the phone works fine. 10,000, that's 110,000, and 22,000 that's inside the bank. That's 132,000 pesos. So the computer is 147,000 pesos, 149. So 149 take away 132 is 17,000 pesos. I'll just take that out of my Patreon money for the month. I'll just take my Patreon money and put that towards that, and I'm good to go. So if you guys recommend me buying the bigger computer, I'll do that. So we'll go back to my live stream. So right now I have the money for either or the money for the big one without doing anything at all to my savings. Thank you. So Warren, we have to sing for Warren. Plus Warren takes his money. Now, this is what Warren just did, by the way. Let me tell you what Warren did. I want to show you. I'm a man of materialistic nature. Warren, this is my rent money. But what Warren did today was Warren smacked me in the face. What Northcote, GE Northcote did was, now I got to give this money to my landlord for my rent, and it's got my facial sweat all over it. Now I have to worry about whether or not there is coronavirus on the money, and I now have coronavirus, or she will get coronavirus because I have it. This is what you've done to me, you people. Brett in the Philippines, Warren Hunt, GE Northcote. You guys are spreading the coronavirus around the Philippines. Going back, Warren wants, we have a thank you. Oh, in case anybody doesn't know, this black mark, this is the mark of a lowbrow man that believes that 100 centimeters I could build a 4-story hotel on, when in fact, I lost it. When in fact, let me get another one. I got plenty. Let's just get another one of these. Another 20 out of the pile. This is 15.2 square inches, and that's 100 square centimeters. There's a guy out there with a very low brow who's been complaining that Michael Fazio is going to build a 4-story hotel on a 100 square centimeter property. Not once, not twice, not three, but multiple times. Because inside his low brow brain, he doesn't know that 100 square centimeters is the size of this dollar bill. How can I build a 4-story hotel with staircases and an aircraft landing helicopter strip on top of the building? How can I do that on a $1 bill? How can I do that? You know why? Because inside his mind, and it's not very big in there, there's not enough room to understand metrics and American standard measurements. So American standard measurements would be 100 square meters. By the way, it's bigger than 100 square meters, but I immediately take over the property next door as soon as I want it, just for a small additional, it's in my contract. But anyway, I immediately take over another complete property whenever I need it. And nobody will ever rent the other property. Not possible, can't be, can't happen, and it won't happen. Not only that, they don't want it to happen. They like me. So moving past that, for all your stories that when I walk down the block, people spit on me and my neighbors hate me, you're a fool at best. And that's the nicest thing I could say about you, is you're a fool to believe, without knowing the facts, that my neighbors spit on me when I walk down the block. Yeah, there is some foolishness going on there. Buffoonery, let's call it buffoonery. And so now we hear this story. That's why the lowbrow exists, from this guy with a lowbrow IQ, that believes and doesn't understand the difference between centimeters and square meters. 100 square centimeters is this big. 100 square meters is the part of the property that I have, that I utilize now. Just the part that I utilize now. Just to give you something to think about. Anyway, so because Warren, we have to sing. So we'll sing, thank you, son, thank you, son, thank you very much, son, 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 son. Sun Tzu, Sun Tzu, Sun Tzu, Sun Tzu. Salamat, 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 salamat. Salamat, salamat, salamat. We should real. Salamat, 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 salamat. Salamat, 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 salamat. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, Warren H. Salamat. Thank you, son. Salamat. Boy, oh boy. We have one pissed off in the wilderness today, huh, guys? There'll be one pissed off in the wilderness today. Tannoy in the Philippines got that guy going a while back. I don't think his head stopped spinning from Tannoy, and then along comes G.E. Northcote. Bada bing! Bada bang! Bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang! Salamat! Bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang. Blue Rose. Jack Thompson says Warren is the prodigal son. Who's my daddy? Warren says, who's my daddy? Who's my daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Warren H. My daddy. Boy, oh boy, you got this guy going. He got me going. You know what? We should sing that song. There's a lot of songs we should sing. Warren H. is the prodigal son. Hey, mate, Racing Heart will help him. Racing Heart. Now, talking about that low brow, low IQ, I remember when Racing Heart and the lowbrow was so best friends in the whole world. Racing Heart sent me $1. Racing Heart. See, Racing Heart loves me, baby. Racing Heart, he's my friend. He super chatted me $2. For $2, you could get that guy, the lowbrow, to stay on YouTube for 14 days. $2 a shot. I'm gonna end this live. Send him to. We have. Do I see 20? Can I see? And he would go on and on for 2 more hours and then say, well, you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to go outside now. And when I come back, I want to see my screen light up. And he'll come back and say, oh, the screen didn't light up. And then Racing Heart, send him another $1, which they all count. They all count. Smack me with this $1 like this, smack me in the face with this $1, or do as GE Northcote did, smack me with $300 US. See if I can. Racing Heart. Well, Blue Rose says, well, this has ended up to be an all-time classic live stream. Warren H. was on. Super chat galore. Generosity, comedy, deep topics, philosophy, and truth. Kudos. We will re-listen to this one sometime. Jack Thompson says, you are correct, Michael. Is baby boomers know too much? That's right. That's why they want us dead. They want us to die. That's what they want. To make room for the young, uninformed. They don't need us. Man, freaking cats. Hold on a minute. They don't need us anymore. They don't need human beings with brains anymore. They only need people to move certain things, drive trucks, stuff like that. Maybe, certain jobs they still need people for, but they don't need. I could tell you that one of the men here on the live stream now has a job driving a truck. Well, Google was talking about 20 years from now, there would be no need for drivers of cars or taxi cabs. But they also gave me a statistic that I wasn't aware of. 70% of people in the workforce, I don't know if in the United States, 70% drive a car or a truck or a taxi cab or a bus. I had no idea it was that high. But so 70% of the people in America drive a car. So 30 years from now, unless you're driving through some remote mountain trail, which you won't be allowed to do anyway, all roads will have wires under the roads and computers that think faster than humans to prevent accidents. So they don't need drivers anymore. Now, there are people here that may drive. I got to tell you, the automation in equipment, when I was looking at an equipment show online the other day. Well, let's go to One Lonely Farmer's channel. Not now, but his tractors tell you how many tons, how many bales that they make. Okay. But we had a dredge that told you how much weight you picked up and dumped into a scow. At the scales, when the trucks go under the scales, an exact amount of rock or substrate for bank material, an exact amount comes out of the chute, and it tells you how much to the ounce. It tells you how much. Jack Thompson says, you are correct, Michael. Us baby boomers know too much. That's why they want us gone. Make room for the young uninformed. Us, of course. Still here, LaRue Seagrass. Welcome. Hey, Big Kevin. So, Big Kevin, I don't know if you're still here, but we are going to have a live stream for you, Big Kevin. This week, we're going to do a live stream. All right. So, Big Kevin, good night to you guys. All right. Good night, Big Kevin. LaRue Seagrass. Hello, GE Northcote friend. Good day to you. GE Northcote. If you want to see a person with love in her heart, love for God, love for her fellow man, love for the Philippines, and love for her church, LaRue Seagrass, I would say, she's not a spiritual leader. She doesn't have a following or a cult. She sincerely means it from her heart. An amazing woman. Now, I personally, I go there because I want to see that lady smile. Whenever I say hello, she talks about Michael Fazio for 10 minutes. Personally, I don't think there's that much to talk about, but I do appreciate it. Now, all right, so, LaRue, it's that time, host. You came on. That time, host, you came on my live stream. I was really surprised. That made my face shocked. You're just a sweetheart all the way around. G.E. Northcote. G.E. Northcote says, my personal banker helps me with problems that I would not have had without him. Man, if you knew how pissed off I was that woman didn't. So when, to digress back to the bank, what I did in the bank, go ahead. We're going to have that lowbrow guy make 50 videos about what I did in the bank. Now I'm going to create a ruckus in the bank. Just like the fake ruckus that I made in Cebu. God almighty. The stories that come out of that lowbrow guy's brain is just amazing. So what I did in the bank, I said to the woman, well, when was the computer turned off? And she said, well, it hasn't been on this morning. I said, but these people have been here since I was here. I remember them. She goes, yes, sir. You made these people sit in that chair for 3 hours? She goes, yes, sir. So I very quietly walked up and down to all the people in the bank and said, excuse me, there's no computers today. The computers are off. She just told me to come back tomorrow. Maybe they'll be on tomorrow. And a lot of people got up and walked out. A lot. Okay. Because they had sat there for 3 hours waiting to do financial stuff with one of the, and when I got to the woman after 3 hours, I said, well, you know what then? All right. So can you give me 1,000 pesos in coin? No, sir. I said, wait a minute. I just waited 3 hours for you, and I'm asking you for 1,000 pesos in coins, and you won't. No, sir, we don't have any change. I have never taken the money out of the bank because it's kind of like not really a buffer, 22,000 pesos, but I left it in there because that bank makes you wait 3 hours. Every time you go on that bank, you pull a number. And if I take a number and I go through them all, it's the PHP National Bank, I think it is. If I take a number and come through them all, if I'm not in the mall for 3 hours, my number isn't called. I go home. Okay, 2-3 hours is normal. So I've never gone back to the bank where my number would have been close to being called. So G.E. Northcote, she caused a problem. She caused her bank. Oh, there is something I should tell you, but I won't tell you about that bank. No. How much money I actually had in the bank at the time, it was a lot more than 22,000 pesos. A lot. Let's just say, let's leave it at a lot more than 22,000 pesos. But I didn't get it out of that branch. I went to another branch that's pretty far away, actually, 6 kilometers away. But it has, in that bank, it has a senior citizens line or special customer service for people with a certain amount of money in the bank. And I went to that counter and I withdrew everything except that 22,000 pesos. Okay. So Warren says Blue Rose, the good one. Blue Rose says, agreed, Warren. Go with the bigger one, Fazio. Your live stream should be crystal clear with that one. All right. So Farting with Mom is Michael Fazio's best video. That was a good one. I was just some off the wall video I did. I remember my mom farted damn near. Oh God, I'll never forget that when my mom passed gas. I didn't think my mother did that, and one day I realized she did. My mother, thinking back now, my mother, we had a dog, and the dog would come up when we ate dinner, sometimes if it was winter, and he loved, Duke was just a fantastic dog. He was just an unbelievably, really good dog. And I remember once when Duke, we got when I was 5 years old. I remember once my mother blaming a fart past gas, but it was silent but deadly. She blamed it on the dog, and we laughed about that for years because Duke would pass gas, but thinking back, I'm thinking it was my mother. She could cut some air. I'll tell you that. She could smoke you out of the room. You wouldn't know, and she wouldn't say a word. She'd never admit it. She never would laugh or smile. She'd just sit there. Maybe, when we were watching television, she probably was blowing it in our general direction. And we would, of course, blame it on my father because he was notorious for dropping a silent but deadly one. All right, so it's a done deal. Everybody agrees that the bigger computer. So now what I need to do is go online. I can't go to Manila. You want to hear the strange thing about this? I remembered before. One of the reasons I want an ASUS is because in Bohol is an ASUS repair center. In Bohol, they don't take the computer and send it out. And it's only a 5-minute tricycle ride from BQ Mall. So that's why I want an ASUS. There is no ASUS repair. There are people that can repair basic stuff in ASUS. All right, so that's a done deal. I'll go into the city this week with that number and see what they can do for me. Because you can't barter with the people in the Philippines like you could in America. Like back in the day of Crazy Eddie, you could say, look, that's the last one on the shelf. Give me 30% off. And he would say, okay. Or the store would say, okay. But here, right across the board, I've not come across, Thinking Tools in the ICM Mall for a 59,000 peso model, that's 8565 model, they would take 4,000 pesos off for 8%. And for a 66,000 peso model, they would give it to you for 61. So that's just a little less than 10%, about 8%. But they will all, even in Cebu, when I went to look at computers in Cebu, they will all give you 10% off for cash. And cash is no problem. So I might be able to get that computer at 10 or 15,000 pesos less than the list price. All right, so here we go. Jack Thompson. He's a long-term Patreon member who just doubled his Patreon pledge. Thank you, Jack. All right. Jack. Yeah, but only you can see those, Jack. Not everybody is a super Patreon member like yourself. I doubt anybody. There's only just a few of you guys, Jack. And that's why to get the other 17,000 pesos, 3 of you, it's not a problem. We'll make up for the difference in the computer. So Jack says, I seen the Patreon videos of Michael interactions with his neighbors. Yeah, you would see things well, you won't see my neighbors so much. You won't see my neighbors so much, but you will see me. And my biggest problem walking down the block is everybody wanting to stop and say hello to me. Who's your daddy? Says Warren H. Who's your daddy? Salamat. All right, so we are doing this now for, well, just going on that. This video is 2 hours and 57 minutes. All right, so we have pretty much settled. This video was 2 hours. So this one was 2 hours. And this one is 2:57. So that's 2 hours, and 3 hours is 5 hours. Okay, so let's go to the videotape here. We are going to pick, this is the computer. Let's review this, the Pro. Let's review the Pro. So we have the single review ASUS ZenBook Pro. So this is going to be the new toy. Let's just call it the new toy. Let's go here. Why is it? That's the, all right. All right. So this, okay. So here's a conversation about the computer, the pros and the cons. Okay. So here's the bottom line on this ASUS ZenBook Pro UX 581 15.6 4K UHD Nano Edge Bezel Touch. So with an Intel Core i9 9980 HT, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte. Now, I don't know what all that means, but I know that that's what's in there. So the one thing that I do know what the word is this bezel. It's a nano bezel. So it's the edge right here along the computer. This edge is very small. Now, if I do recall properly, where down here is where the camera is. So it camera's low. But if it's a desktop, that was the one complaint I remember reading about this a few months ago, is that the camera is down here. All right, so let's go through it. Screen pad plus 14-inch 4K matte. Touchscreen. So there's a touchscreen giving you endless ways to optimize your multitasking experience by extending the screen or split windows and apps on both displays. 15.6 4K UHD Nano Edge touchscreen, glossy main display. I also remember somebody complaining that on the outside it gets fingerprints. Latest 9th generation Intel Core i9 9980 HT quad-core processor. Now, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. 16 M cache. No idea what that means. Up to 5 hertz, whatever that means. With NVIDIA GeForce RT 2060. No idea what that means. Detachable palm rest and ASUS Active Stylus Pen. I do know what that is. You can use that on the screen to write in numbers. I don't know how it works, but like if you want to add numbers or make a design, I guess you could do that. Storage and memory featuring 1 terabyte. That's a lot. So the SSD with an NVMe SSD with MVD. Now, Blue Rose and Warren would know what that is. With 32 gigabytes of RAM or DD RAM. No. 32 gigabytes of something. I don't know what that is. 4 DDR is 4 RAM. Whatever that is, I bet it's enough. The DDR4 RAM. Built-in IR camera for facial recognition, sign in with Windows Hello. Now that I like, because every time I have to sign into my computer, I have to put in a 17-digit code. And that is so I don't have that code in my files. And that is so I don't have that code in my files in case my computer gets stolen. Nobody, well, of course they can go in through the back door, but if I have the computer laying around on my desk and I put it into sleep mode, and I have other people in the house, which does happen, believe it or not, I don't want them opening up my computer and doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And I don't keep my passwords per se in the computer. So every time I go in, I might keep a password to the passwords someplace stored someplace else outside the computer, but I do not keep the passwords in a file. So that solves that problem. Exclusive ergo lift design for improved typing position. So that just means it has two little bars in the back that tip up, little legs. Optimized cooling system, that means two fans. And enhanced audio performance, that means stereo coming out of both sides. Extensive connectivity with HDMI, which I need for a screen like this. USB Type-C with Thunderbolt, gigabit class Wi-Fi. All right, so there's a Thunderbolt connection, and the Thunderbolt connection is for one USB plug. Then there's a Type-C for a second USB plug, and then there's an HDMI for this screen here. All right. All right. So here, pros: a sturdy, well thought out, high-end laptop, nice wide-angle lens on the laptop camera for those face-to-face meetings. My old laptop was always looking at my nose, built for graphic designers, video editors, creative animators, etc. Seriously, if you use palettes and your screen is overwhelmed with toolbars, you're going to love this laptop. The dual screens are amazing and super helpful. Bright, vivid color. Quiet, cool, super fast, no problems with overheating. And I put this thing through hell too. Cons. Yeah, the power brick is a brick. This thing must weigh 20 pounds. Exaggeration. Hyperbole. But the brick for this unit that I have right here, it's pretty heavy, to be honest. That's it. Probably weighs half a kilo for sure. So he bought two power sources. The outside shell picks up fingerprints like nobody's business. Overall review. From a technical aspect, obviously, this laptop is amazing. Fast, solid, sturdy, quiet. All the things you'd expect from a high-end laptop. Yes, the dual touchscreens are seriously cool and useful. Watch any YouTube review of this thing and you'll start sweating with anticipation. But what I found truly amazing and honestly unexpected was the incredible ASUS customer support. Now that I will give you a testament to. For this computer, when it was new, the customer support from ASUS was equal to that of the gold customer support for my Dell laptop, desktop. You can't get better customer support from, now, I don't think Dell gives that anymore, but it came with the computer for $100. It lasted 2 years. And those people would literally stay online with you for 4 hours and teach you anything you wanted to know if they liked you. Otherwise, they would just fix the problem and say, is there anything else, sir? So ASUS, not knowing how to top up, spent, I don't know how many hours they spent with me, and they were great customer support. I need to get water. All right, let me do this. Yeah, so they have. So let's go back now. Let's go to the page. This is the. So this is the real article here that we just read all the pros and cons about. Now I'll show you the ports on this one. This one has right here on the side, you're going to see a speaker input and one USB in the back. And then where the laptop meets the screen, you're going to see that right here in the back. You're going to see the back corner. That holds the computer up, and it allows air to go underneath. When you go to the other side, you're going to see the HDMI plug, the power input, and another USB. So there's two USBs and one HDMI, not three USBs, okay? But I can take my 7-1 USB that I bought and put it into the computer, and I'll have 8 USB ports, which is enough. All right, well, we're going to go back to the live stream and say thank you to everybody. And so this computer with the VAT is 150,000 pesos, 149.67. I'm going to find out. I'm going to go to the ASUS store. I'm not going today, not going tomorrow. I don't know even what today is. Today's Thursday. I'll make a run to the city. I don't know. I won't go. I don't like to go to the city on a Friday or a Saturday. I kind of like to hang out here on the Saturdays and Sundays because, well, I do. So, so right now we have collected for that 85,000. Thank you. More than 15,000 from GE Northcote. Thank you very much, GE. Another 22,000 in the bank. Thank you very much, Philippines National Bank. So that's 122. 10,000 from the phone funds, 132. And my Patreon, well, actually, it drops on the 2nd, which is 7 days from now. Drops on the 2nd. But I actually think there's 2 months of Patreon. So without going into my bank account, I'm good. By the end of next week, I'll be able to put that money together to go to the city, to go to ASUS, to talk. There's an ASUS dealer in the ICM Mall called Thinking Tools on the top floor, right next to Globe Internet and phone service on the top floor. Go up the escalator and just look to the left. You'll see Thinking Tools. There's an ASUS computer store in the Galeras Mall across from the back of the BQ Mall. There's an ASUS computer store in there. Actually, there's 2 stores that sell ASUS, but one is a much smaller store. He might be able to order it. Now, that guy would work with you. He would work with you because he's a hustling guy. I mean, that guy in the Galeras Mall, you go right behind Sony. Right behind Sony. Just keep walking down when you go into the Galeras Mall. Look for the Sony big screen TVs. Or look for the go-karts where they race the go-karts for the children. Go on the far side of the go-karts. He has a little shop, but he sells ASUS computers. And then there's another shop on the other side of the go. You stand in front of where the go-karts are. They're little electric go-karts for the kids. There's another place that sells Acer and ASUS. They both do that. That's two places. Then there's the computer store up by the college. I forgot the name of it. That they sell ASUS also, but they also sell used computers. So, and then there's the ASUS computer repair store, where I'm pretty sure they don't sell ASUS, but they will tell me what store to go to get the best price. And if you go to the right place, I mean, you got to understand, they're entitled to make a living, these people. I mean, if the computer's 150,000 pesos, I seriously doubt that they pay more than 120,000 pesos. So that leaves them 30,000 pesos for their overhead. But that also leaves them some room to work with you. So I might be able to get a better deal. Now, if I don't want to buy it in Manila, so I'm not going to wait for the travel ban to go off. So this is probably the one that I'm going to do, and it's not problematic. That's not a lot of money, actually. It is to some people. So let's go back to my who's your daddy? Are there any? I don't. I got to put my glasses on. Oh boy, I got to tell you. Well, having your sight go bad is not as bad as having other things that don't work. Thank God we don't have those problems. So, GE Northcote, he knows about computers too. I always thought that the issues with your neighbors were due entirely to you initially being the candy man and then transforming into no candy man. Yes. They never disliked me, though, but they got mad that I stopped giving. Okay, so, and they got over it. Well, okay, initially, if you go back through my videos from, let's see, when I moved into the one apartment, not so far from here, I moved into an apartment March 16th of 2014. And I went everywhere with candy, bags and bags and bags and bags of candy, thousands and thousands. So between March 16th, and I made videos of the men working, and Christmas, I kept track. I just drew the receipt, cigarettes, rum, and rice to my neighbors. Then on New Year's, a guy with a 3-letter name, who I won't mention, he asked me for a piece of wood I had stored that I was carving to make a chair out of for my house, for my apartment. And I said, no, you can't have that. And he said, okay. He asked me for it in the morning of New Year's Day, and I said, no, you can't have it. And come New Year's Eve, he asked me for it in the morning because he wanted to use it for firewood for his house. And I said, no, you can't have it. So this low-class little fella asked me for the wood in the morning, and I said no, and I made it perfectly clear, do not touch that wood. That's my wood. And it was the most complex carving that I had for the chair, for the chair. And I said, don't touch nothing on my property. Now, I won't let that guy work on my property, and I don't give him anything anymore. Okay. That was what, 5 years ago? I give his kids candy. I'll give his kids candy anytime I see his kids. I like his kids. I give him nothing. So New Year's Eve came around, and I went to bed at my normal time, 10 o'clock, because I get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. New Year's is no big deal for me. And when I go outside to work on my bench, my wood is gone. And I went, now I didn't actually know where that guy lived. I know he lived in the forest somewhere. So I knew that Mehdi, who you might have seen a video where I mentioned Mehdi to the guy at, oh no, that was in immigration. Anyway, I met one of my old people that stayed in the same building I lived in. Mehdi, I knocked on Mehdi's door at like 6:45 in the morning. I said, "Where's my wood?" Oh, they burnt it. I said, "What do you mean they burnt it?" Because Mehdi was the chef. He was a real chef. And he told me they burnt it. I says, "Who brought the wood to the fire?" And he told me the guy's name. Then I banged on the owner of the building's door. And I said, "Let me ask you a question. Did you let that guy burn my wood?" He went, "Yeah," like that. I said, "Really?" I said, "So what are you going to do for me now that I have a lot of money?" And he goes, "If you wanted the wood, you should have put it in your apartment." Okay. So I told him a little story that he didn't appreciate. And then I went looking for the guy who burnt the wood. And I couldn't find him. He lives in the forest. So I went back to Mehdi's apartment. I said, "Come on, you and your buddy." He had his friend from Madison. "We're going to go down to the beach and we're going to get another piece of wood just like that or bigger." And we went. He did go with me. And when we came back, there was a bunch of people. Now, this is New Year's Day, so there's work that day. On the job site, on the beach. And we got the wood from one location. We put it in the water, in the ocean, and we dragged it about a half a mile. And then we took the wood and we dragged it up the beach as far as the three of us could. But I had to bring a chainsaw to get it, to unattach it from the tree it was attached to. I knew where the wood was that I wanted, and it was bigger than the one I wanted, and it was enough to build a bunch of things out of, but it wasn't. It weighed 400, 500 pounds. So we dragged it up the beach, and I went on to the job site, and I said to that guy who burnt my wood the night before, "I need you to help me carry the wood." He goes, "Give me 50 pesos. So I'm not giving you nothing, dude. I gave you shoes, I gave you rice, I gave you candy, I gave you clothes for the kids, I gave you the cardboard boxes that my stuff from New York came in for your beds, to make beds for you and your kids. And you want me to pay you?" So I needed the three of us, and two more men would be able to drag that piece of wood up the hill. And everybody said, "I'll work for you for 50 pesos. So what worked for me? We only need you to drag it up the beach hill, which is like 3 feet, 4 feet higher than the beach, the water level. The rest we can drag flat, no problem." "Yeah, give me 50 pesos. So I said, "No, I won't do that." So Cedric, who was a nice enough guy, he said, "Michael," because he remembers I always gave him rum, cigarettes, and rice. And he's a poor man. He says, "I'll work for you." And one other guy volunteered to work for me also. So "We'll work for you for free." So they helped me carry it up, and they helped me drag it back to the house, another few hundred feet. And I gave them 20 pesos each. And that was, Mehdi helped me because he burnt the wood knowing it was my wood. The other guy helped him because he was Mehdi's friend. The guy who asked me for 50 pesos, that he was the one who burnt the wood, who walked over to my house, took the wood out from my house after I told him you can't have the wood. That guy, I bought a pair of 800 peso sneakers for. I gave him hundreds and hundreds of candy, thousands maybe. Okay. I think since that year, I gave him about 100 pieces of candy. And that was when his kids are there. I give him candy so that his kids will have candy. I don't like giving his kids candy. Now I do, because they're 10, 9, 8, 9 years old. But then I didn't. I only gave the parents candy to give the kids candy, unless some parent had to be outside when I gave them candy. So that guy, about 2 weeks ago, came over to my house. He said, Mike, I need a job. I said, no, you're not working for me. Why? Well, you don't listen. You just don't listen. If I tell you to do something, you'll tell me no. And I won't. I already know how you are. That's why no one wants to hire you. So we got a job on a big construction site. And if Jack saw the video, then Jack, that's the guy. I don't know if I posted that video. That's the guy I was going, oh, you took all the candy. I put a bag of 50 candy down for a construction crew, and he stuck his hand in the bag and took as many that would fit in his hand and stuck them in his pocket. 2 or 3 more guys went for candy, and within 45 seconds, there was no candy. So 20 men didn't get candy because 3 guys took all the candy. So what am I supposed to do? You think I'm going to stand there and hand out 3 pieces or 2 pieces of candy to each person? I'm not going to do that. So I said, you see, this is what they do to each other. And you want me to give you a bag of what, 400 candy? Screw you. You buy it for them, to that guy who took all the candy. Because I'll bring the candy like I did, and he's going, my friend Michael, he gave you the candy. My friend, he does the gang sign and shit like that. My friend Michael gave you the, and then, so he takes credit for me buying them candy. Meanwhile, I buy them candy just so they have a small snack in the afternoon. But he makes it like I'm his friend. Yeah, I'm his friend. Wait till you see the next video I have. I need water, and then I'll make my closing statement. I guarantee it'll be under 5 minutes. Maybe. Hold on. Here's the other money. Falls on the floor. I knew that it was around somewhere. So this is what Warren did to me, and this is what GE Northcote did to me, and this is what a Brit in the Philippines did to me. Smacking me with dollars. Smacking me with dollars. Boy, I got to tell you, those guys put a hurting on me today. So to answer GE Northcote's comment, all right, so that day that they wanted money, we dragged the wood to where it was supposed to go, where I wanted it, where I could work on it with my chainsaw and tools. There were 18 men on that job site. 18. That's 5, 10, 15, 18 men. Every single Friday or Saturday night, every day, every week. For like 8 months, I bought them. I might throw 2 packs of cigarettes on the table and a quart or 2 quarts of rum. Sometimes I would do it 2 quarts of rum on a Saturday night and 2 packs of cigarettes, and sometimes I wouldn't leave anything for a couple of weeks, and then I put a quart of rum or a pack of cigarettes. But every weekend they got something from me. That day I went back to that job site. That day, same day, went right back. As soon as the wood was where it belonged, I walked all the way back to the job site, and they were taking their 3 o'clock snack, whatever time it was. All the men were in the garage. So everybody, come on over here. And they were thinking I was going to start handing out candy. Let me explain this to you. Who speaks English? Who doesn't? So one guy, Stefan, speaks English. It was 5 years ago. So this was like the only guy that spoke English. I don't know where he lives, but I haven't seen him around in a couple of months, 6, 7 months. But anyway, he spoke English. He was also the guy that knew who had my spear gun when I lost my spear gun in the ocean. And I said, because you know who stole my spear gun or who has it, and because all of you people wanted 50 pesos for the 3 minutes it would have taken you to drag the wood to my house, never ever, 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 never, ever, ever do I ever give anybody anything on the block anymore at all. Zero. Now, I didn't keep that promise because on Christmas I give, and to the kids I give. But I did not ever give the working men on my block ever again candy or cigarettes or rum. And they remembered that, and they asked me, do you know GE Northcote? I may have said, I would come out of my apartment to have a cigarette at 3 o'clock in the morning. And there would be people sitting, they didn't throw rocks at my window or anything like that. There'd be people sitting outside where they could see me come out on the balcony to have a cigarette. And when I walked out on the balcony, they would walk up to the bottom of that, Michael, just give me one. Just give me one. And give me candy. Give me polyhold candy. They would literally wait for me all night to open up. And I'd give them a cigarette and candy. Because back then, cigarettes were only 40 pesos a pack. No, they were 28 pesos a pack. 28. So that would be about 60 cents a pack. After that, no more candy, no more cigarettes, no more rum. And no more rice. That was it. They got mad. They got mad because once you start giving, you can never stop. Now, after I met Daisy, she went off on a tirade 2 or 3 times. He's not giving you, in her language, their language, not giving, leave him alone. No more pasalubong, she said. And I never did. So GE Northcote is talking about, right. I asked, what is an SSD drive? That's the solid state drive. Thank you for refreshing my memory. Right. Warren wants me to sing The Bear Went Over the Mountain. All right. So luckily I just had some water. So for my son Warren, my boy. Ready? Wait. Might as well orchestrate this. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. And what do you think he saw? He saw a bunch of pesos. He saw a bunch of pesos. He saw a bunch of pesos. And what do you think he did? He collected all the pesos. He collected all the pesos. He collected 20,000 pesos. He collected 20,000 pesos. He collected 20,000 pesos. And what do you think he did? He went computer shopping. He went computer shopping. He went computer shopping. And what do you think he bought? He bought the ASUS Pro. He bought the ASUS ZenBook Pro. He bought the ASUS ZenBook Pro UX581 15.6 4K UHD Nano Edge Bezel Touch iCore Intel i7 9750 16 gigabyte RAM 1 terabyte PC SSD GeForce RT 2060 Innovative Screen Pad Plus Windows 10 Pro UX581 GV XB74T as in Thomas Blue. He bought up ASUS ZenBook Pro UX. He bought an ASUS ZenBook Pro. He bought an ASUS ZenBook Pro with some pesos left to go. There's no reason to cry about this. There's no reason to cry about this. When GE Northcote and my son put their minds together, anything is possible. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, baby. The bear went over the mountain with a twist. That's what that was. That's exactly. Hold on, my landlord's here. Honey, look. I'll be over there half hour. Okay. Yeah. Pay the rent bi-monthly, and there's a reason for that. It's not my doing, but they request that. It's better for them. It's better for them. And that goes back to GE Northcote's comment, actually. What happened was, a while ago, and we're going back to the Fiesta time. So the Fiesta was August 18th, I think. Yeah, August 18th. Whatever it was. From February or March of last year, they came to me and said, Michael, when the Fiesta comes, will you be able to pay me 2 months in advance? And I said, sure, no problem. And they have money. They have money coming in from other places. But when I paid them, apparently it caused some kind of problem with, I won't say who. And because it was exactly what I always said my rent was. It didn't change. It's not going to go up for 2 more years, or 19 months. But that's not the point. But so now they prefer to have it twice a month, so that, number one, they don't have that much money laying around the house because they don't have a bank account. Even though I set up a bank account for the family when I took over the property, apparently there is no more bank account because I went to deposit money in the bank one day because I use the same bank that I use, and the bank's gone. So apparently the bank account came and went, and they spent a lot of time with me at the bank, like 5 hours setting up a bank account, and it's going anyway. So, all right. So going back to the messages, that was the bear went over the mountain with a twist. I was the candy man, then I wasn't the candy man. GE, I read about the solid state. Now, as long as it's cooled down, there's no problem with those. Now, although I will tell you that this little bastard here, this little solid state thing in my phone, some issue with this, it burnt out and I lost all my memories. So I hope that doesn't happen. But you know what? I have drives that I have all my stuff backed up on. Warren says pounds, not spaghetti money. So, well, actually 250 pounds of spaghetti is it's not much cheaper than pounds of pounds. Actually, a kilo of the good spaghetti is 89 pesos, 90 pesos. So let's just say it's 100 pesos or $2 a kilo. So a pound of spaghetti, you're not going to buy a pound of spaghetti for less than 50 pesos. Well, yeah, you can. It's 90 pesos. It's 89 pesos for a kilo. And you can buy the cheap, you can buy 1 pound of that for 45 pesos. So it's $1 a pound. Yeah, it's just It's almost $1 a pound for spaghetti in the Philippines. It's damn near $1 a pound for rice if you buy brown rice. Or in fact, it is $1 a pound. White rice sells for 32 pesos per kilo to 55 pesos per kilo, which is it's $1.10 a piece, $1.10 a kilo. Now we're getting into the recommendations. Northcote, GE Northcote. NVIDIA GeForce 2060 dedicated graphics is good, but there are better available. Well, let me tell you how much graphics I'll be doing. I will, you know what? I can't even say that because the reason I don't do a lot of video editing is, you know what? All right, so the reason I don't do a lot of video editing is because if I put 2 hours of videos, 2 1-hour videos in my, whatever that is, the movie maker, the computer freezes up. I have to shut it down. That's why. So we're gonna say thank you for that piece of information. But Warren and Blue Rose will be more than generous with their knowledge. And I'm gonna call, Blue Rose is sleeping. I'm gonna call Warren. Warren says, hoodwinked by an angel, funds sent my daddy. So the computer is already a reality. All I have to do is wait till Monday and go to the bank. Thank you, Warren. If Michael gives a solemn promise to not sing, the Northcote vault doors will surely be ripped asunder. Salamat. No, please. All kidding aside, and I mean this sincerely. Thank you. Enough, really. Thank you. I'm not gonna. I like the idea that Google made a bunch of money today. I like the idea that I made a bunch of money today. I like the idea that we had fun. I like the idea that Christopher Hitchens, in fact, actually reminds me of, I did watch some stuff from Christopher Hitchens long ago. I like the idea that we had a bunch of laughs. I like the idea that a bunch of cool people came on my live stream. Britain, the Philippines was a big surprise because we have no ill feelings towards one another, but Britain, the Philippines has a lifestyle of a family and children, and I have a lifestyle of working. Like Chris does not work during the process of the work that goes on in his house. He's a supervisor, and I'm a supervisor and a worker. But so we have two different, Chris is typically talking about buying a bed for his children or putting an air conditioner in his kitchen. And me, I'm talking about, well, we won't talk about what I talk about, but I'm doing things that manly things that men do. Two different channels. So he may watch and I may watch, but we don't comment. I did comment a few months back, hoping that he got the house back together okay after the storm. But so Chris was here, Big Kevin stopped by, LaRue stopped by, Princess Anud stopped by, Dennis Adams stopped by. I'm not looking at their names on the screen. Warren stopped by, GE Northcote stopped by, Jack Thompson stopped by. Who else stopped by? Blue Rose, of course. Jack Thompson. There was a couple of other people that I did. Bluish aqua, almost blue water, bluish. Major super chat. Boy, let's just give it one more. It's a rainbow. Flashing colors on my screen. I see 100 lira. 100 lira on my screen plus 50 lira. That's 150 lira on my screen plus 25 lira. That's 175 lira on my screen plus the greens and blues. Then we go over to the other page and we see more lira on the screen. You bet your spleen. 200 lira on the screen and another 25. 225 lira on the screen, and the one at the top does not show up. 250 lira on the screen. You bet there was green. Salamat. All right, so Warren is going to be awake. Blue Rose is sleeping. A Brit in the Philippines is gone, I think. Okay, I wonder who else signed in and signed out. Crying, like one crying in the wilderness. Min sang ang insang daahan palagan isang dahan. Once a foreigner. Oh. Wow. Wow, that was shocking. Headphones, baby. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. 7 hours. That's my limit. Thank you very much. And to the lowbrow crying in the wilderness, that lowbrow guy that said, I'm going to build a hotel on 100 centimeters of land, 100 square centimeters of land, you need to go study your multiplication charts and tables. How could you do such a thing? How could anybody be so foolish to mistake square centimeters for meters? Don't get me started, because then I'll answer my own question. God day to everybody. I'm going to call Warren. I'm going to call you up. I need 10 minutes. I'm going to go outside and take a bath, and I'm going to go outside and pee, and I'm going to go outside. I have, it'll be 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Thank you very much, everybody. God day to everybody. Salamat. Next time I come on, I'm going to try to get Daisy on. We talked about it. She will come on if she has a load, and she can get a load, but they have lockdown in Davao. Getting back to that, they want you dead. You should remember. Just remember what I said. They want you dead. Not a joke. It's going to happen. They are going to economically destroy the world. This is what they're doing right now. This is a test. Hello? Okay. I guess it was a wrong number. Cheerio, G.E. Northcote. Thoroughly enjoyed the show. Cheerio, Michael. Cheerio, everyone. God bless. I mean, thank you. I know I do believe in a higher power, as everybody knows. But the God thing, I will leave that for another day. But remember, GE, please remember to send me your email on some obscure video. I'll look for it in a half an hour when I get back from my landlord's house. And then I'll send you 120 plus videos from last June or July till 2 weeks ago. And then I will send you the entire 17 series of videos of something else I documented that I don't have on Patreon. I will put that on Patreon, but not until I build the hotel. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Salamat. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. The bear went over the mountain. And what do you think he saw? All right, let's just tell you what he saw. He saw ASUS ZenBook. He saw a Pro Duo, a UX 581 15.64K UHD Nano Edge bezel touch, Intel Core i7-9750 helicopter, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte PC, SSD GeForce RX T2060 that GE Northcote said could be better, plus an innovative screen pad plus Windows, dual screen Pro, UX 5811G Victor, X-Ray, Baker 74, Thomas, Celestial Blue. The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain. And what do you think he saw? What do you think he did? He bought the ASUS ZenBook Pro UX 581 15.64 kilo uniform helicopter David Nano Edge Bezel Touch Intel Core I as in India 79750 helicopter 16 Golf Trot Baker RAM 1 terabyte PC SSD GeForce Roger Tango X-Ray 260 innovative screen plus pad Windows 10 Pro Uniform X-Ray 581 Golf Trot Victor X-Ray Box Baker 74 Tango Celestial Blue. You can use box, but Baker is Air Force terminology. And what do you think he did? He went to pick up his ASUS ZenBook Pro Duo X-Ray 581 15.64 kilo uniform helicopter Delta Nano Edge Bezel Tech Intel Core I India 7975 helicopter 16 gigabytes of RAM 1 terabyte of SSD GeForce RX T, which would be Romeo Tango X-Ray 260 innovative screen pad plus Windows 10 Pro uniform X-Ray 58 Golf Trot Victor X-Ray Baker 74 Tango Celestial Blue. He went and picked it up. He went to go buy it. He went to look for it. And thank you very much. Salamat. And remember, what we did here today on screen has never been done before. We compared one video, computer video graphics card and video specs to another. We did a comparison. And what do you think of that? We did a genetical abbreviation breakdown of the computer. We did a genetical comparisons of the computer. We did a genetical comparisons. And what do you think of that? You must be mentally deprived to believe a genetical comparison exists. But if you believe those words exist, then that's what we did today. We did a genetical comparisons. We did a genetical comparison. And we did a genetical comparison of two different types of computers, of this computer for 149,627 pesos, 0.51. I love the way they do that stupid crap in the Philippines. We did a genetical comparison from the 84,873.59. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. They'll try to give you the change for that 0.59. That's how when they owe a quarter of a peso and you're in the supermarket and you look at the screen and they don't have it, they will give you a half a peso. If they don't have that, they'll give you a peso. But when you owe them a quarter peso, you got to pay them a quarter peso. So I usually just bring all my garbage coins, like, whatever, and I give it to them. I just put that on the counter first, and then they give me back dollar pesos for the pesos. Anyway, goodbye. I'm being Permy. Okay, Geo Northcote. Michael, I already have all your content. I hacked into your hard drive. LOL. That's okay. I know it's not that hard, and I don't care. There's nothing in my hard drive. There's not that. That's the one thing, boy. I got to tell you, there's not a damn thing in my hard drive I couldn't be proud of. I'm Big Permy. Thank you again, Geo, Northcote, Warren, and everybody else. I got to go. My landlord, probably time for her to take her nap. I will go now. Bye-bye. Big. Next time, Sunday will be my next show. And I'll have the information for the ASUS computer where I'm going to get it on Sunday. Thanks. Bye-bye. Geo Northcutt. Good night, whoever you are. Salamat. I'm Big Permy.